reads the defense and makes some kind of a motion to Gilbert, and boom, he hits him.
Well, when you're in the run and shoot and you have 4 wide receivers, that's your version of a short yardage play. I mean, that's what other teams would do in handing it to the fullback and running it off tackle. For Houston in the run and shoot, it's a 3-yard quick pass to that inside receiver. It's the same result.
We're watching Houston's ball control game.
That's exactly what it was.
First down at the 26-yard line. Klingler again, resetting his offense. Draw play. Ostel Miles.
Oh, the ball's down.
Loose. Miles pops it up on the very first carry inside the 15-yard line. Holisek, the freshman linebacker, was there for Illinois. They had big plans for Ostel Miles today, the junior college transfer from Pasadena Junior College. This is his first carry.
And he couldn't have asked for much more than this. Look at the blocking. Illinois congested on the inside, and he is around the corner. But he carries that ball in that right hand when he's taking the pursuit from the right. He coughs it up, and Holisek was right there to get it. That's where a back should transfer that ball to the left arm when the pursuit is coming from inside. And that was a case where Miles just didn't get it done.
One of several freshman defenders for Illinois that we'll be watching a lot of today. John Holisek. First down at 10, Illinois. They start from their own 4-yard line. They lead 7-0. And Steve Fagan once again over the left side, and Fagan moves for about 3.
Fagan's an interesting story. Here's a guy that they really would like to get him to break loose, but he's having trouble breaking that first tackler. And again, he went down to the first Houston defender that got a hold of Fagan.
Second down and 7. This is Dan Hurt, the defensive coordinator, in his first year in that role with Houston. And around the college ranks, former Texas A&M coach was with Don Phillips of Houston earlier. Camino Bell over the left side, and Bell out close to the 24-yard line, very close to a first down. Camino Bell. Bell has emerged as the principal running back for the Illini, coming into today with 5.9 average. Verduzco's a very heady quarterback. When you talk to John Makovic about him, he prepares as well as any quarterback John says he's ever worked with. If he comes in to run a football game, he's got it down. That's John Makovic with a little pat and a word to send him back into the huddle. Boy, this has gone back and forth.
There's a final for you. Tennessee comes back and defeats Mississippi State. Come from behind win there for the Vols.
On first down, Joe Muti, number 41. Gain of perhaps 2. It'll be second down and 8. And Ryan McCoy defensively there once again for the Cougars.
Well, Ben Hurt said that Ryan McCoy is the finest young linebacker I have ever been around in all my years of coaching. He's only a sophomore. He's got the size at 6'3" and 240 and the great speed. And he has the one intangible that you just have to have if you're to play in the middle where it's so congested. You have to have great football instincts. Ryan McCoy has all of that.
Ooh, that's second down. That's the lateral, and it goes out. And it's collected there by Fagan. But again, every time you see that play, it's designed, I'm sure, to go forward.
Yes.
Because the one risk inherent in that is if you bobble it, it can be recovered. Other scores will be rolling in through the day on a very busy afternoon. A very busy day for us at ABC. Our colleague Al Michaels is on the West Coast, calling the Arizona State USC game with Lynn Swan. That's an interesting pair. Watching their respective colleges perform.
No less interesting than you and I trying to get through this.
On third down, Verduzco with a rifle, and he fires out over the 30-yard line, and John Wright is there. John Wright coming off a big game last week in a losing effort against Missouri. 6 receptions, 108 yards.
He looks to be a couple of yards short of the first down. I believe Illinois is going to have to punt it away. But this is a very good demonstration of Verduzco's arm strength, going all the way back across the field. That is a risky pass. But Verduzco had the muscle to get it there. Just wasn't good enough for the first down. Illinois will punt it out.
Corey Wells to punt for Illinois. A low punt off the side of his foot, and Jerry Parks watches it, moves away from it as it rolls to the 22-yard line. So Illinois is on top. We're just about halfway through the first quarter. Illinois leading the Cougars 7-0. We'll be back.
Did you tell your boss you're quitting?
No, I'm telling him on Monday.
Got any plans yet?
Few?
No celebrity spokesman.
I'm opening a restaurant.
No beach volleyball games.
How about another Heineken?
No lengthy description of the brewing process. None of that is what made Heineken the #1 imported beer in America.
You got that steady paycheck?
Oh, yeah. I got a few bucks put away.
So you want to own a restaurant?
No, what I really want to do is be a relief pitcher.
Bulletin from Chevy Truck. Now get $1,000 cash back on every new 1991 Chevy full-size. The best cash back offer on America's best-selling pickup. Now through September 25th, $1,000 on every new 1991 Chevy full-size pickup. Every half-ton, three-quarter ton, 1 ton. Every 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, all with $1,000 cash back. You must take retail delivery from dealer stock by September 25th. See your Chevy dealer for details and get $1,000 cash back now.
Jets fly west to test the Big Bear's bite. It's a showdown in Chicago here on Monday night.
Thursday, Premier Week continues. What separates us from common criminals?
We have a license.
The press calls them first rate. Your private eye picked the lock. Richard Crenna and James Earl Jones. Whoever wants you dead might have hired someone else to finish the job.
This guy's got a vivid imagination.
The premiere of Pros and Cons Thursday.
Illinois leading Houston 7-0. 8:29 remaining in the first quarter. And Houston with their second possession. David Klingler from the no-huddle offense looking it over. First down at 10 at his own 22-yard line. Casey Good again coming across from the wing-back spot out over the 25-yard line, close to the 26-yard line.
Check this guy out. Tracy Good is all of 5'6", 170 pounds, and he's having to take it around on that wing around. I'm not sure that's pleasing him all that much.
Second down and 6. Klingler tried to go with the draw, backhanded, and it was picked off there by Pulaski. And Gustafson over the right side for Illinois.
That was an excellent pass rush by Mike Pulaski. I mean, he just takes the upfield rush areas at the bottom of the screen, and he's going to come in from the right side as we look at the action back up towards the line of scrimmage. Pulaski, though, goes around the corner and comes in on the sack.
Lost back to about the 23-yard line. Make it the 24. It'll be third down. And was there movement? There certainly was movement on the part of Illinois. Zitnik, the nose tackle, moving across the line of scrimmage.
I think one of the things that got Illinois a little bit there, Frank, Klingler was back in the shotgun.
We have a dead ball. Encroachment on the defense. Third down.
Mark Zitnik making contact, crossing the neutral zone. So it'll be third down and just about 4. Ball near the 29-yard line.
Klingler is in the shotgun formation. He may come up under center now, but he was last time, and that's something that really got Illinois. They have not shown the shotgun before.
Hand off underneath, and it goes to Austell Miles, the same play that he broke earlier, and fumbled, and Miles out over the 45 near the 48-yard line. Good pickup, and Miles is big, 6 feet, 230-pound junior. I mentioned he was transferred from Pasadena Junior College, where he had enormous numbers out there.
You also notice the way he covered up the ball there when he got tackled.
He and John Jenkins had a little chit-chat after that first fumble. Now from the shotgun. Something new for Klingler and the Houston Cougars. Again, splitting the zone, a rifle shot by Klingler. And it goes to John Brown III. JB3 once again. They come right back with the big gainer that they had in their opening series, just splitting the Houston zone, and he's got the arm to get it in there, Dan.
It's exactly the same pattern, the up pattern, and all week long Illinois has been talking about we can't let Brown run this pattern on us. And twice they've tried, and twice they've had big completions. Freddie Cox, the corner, was late getting over there, and that was great hustle that time by Julian Brown getting all the way down there to stop that play. John Brown 3 looks like he's in for a good afternoon.
Well, and you saw the strength of that arm on the part of Klingler, though. He fired that thing about 35 or 40 yards right on the line. And Klingler back once again, looking in the corner, and the receiver is knocked off. John Jenkins, in his second year as a head coach, spent 3 years as offensive coordinator, of course, under Jack Pardee. There's a bit of a hot spot with coaches around the country and media people. Has put up a lot of points in a lot of games where a lot of people think that perhaps he could have backed off a little bit. But this is not a back-off offense. Nor is Jenkins a back-off coach, and Klingler looks it over on second down and goal. Illinois leading 7-0.
We're down to about 5 seconds on the play clock.
Klingler tries to throw out into a crowd.
Threw that one out there in the direction of Fred Gilbert. Looked like Gilbert wasn't expecting the ball.
I think Klingler might have just took that snap because he was going to draw 5 there as the clock was ticking down.
Freddie Gilbert sure wasn't expecting it. Now, Frank, this has to be one of the shortcomings of the run-and-shoot offense. Here you are on the 5-yard line, 3rd and goal, but you're still in there with your 4 wide and 1 running back.
Noisy crowd, over 60,000 on hand here. Klingler very wisely fires it out of the end zone. Good coverage back there on the part of the Illini, and the crowd joins the Fighting Illini as they hold Houston to what apparently is going to be a field goal attempt. And Houston can trot out one of the most prolific kickers in Southwest Conference history, Roman Anderson, looking for his 125th consecutive conversion. That's the Southwest Conference record, as he will add to that record. So Illinois leading Houston now 7-3, 6:10 remaining in the first quarter. 23-yard field goal there by Roman Anderson. We'll be back in just a moment.
Every business morning, while the rest of the world is getting up, UPS is guaranteeing overnight delivery before 10:30 for far less than other companies charge. And every business morning, more people are waking up to that fact.
Good morning.
Morning.
Do you use a dandruff shampoo? Tests show Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head & Shoulders. Blue is better, and for a limited time, Blue is free. Buy 1 7-ounce bottle of any formula Selsun Blue, get 1 free. See for yourself. Blue is better.
Power Stick Antiperspirant. It excels with 50% more odor and wetness fighters per stroke for 24-hour control that ordinary deodorant sticks just can't beat. Power Stick for 24-hour control.
One athlete, many events. The energy to challenge not just one, but all limits. At Texaco, we share that energy in all that we do. The energy to create innovative products like Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. The energy to lead the way in exploration, conservation, alternate energy. The energy to go as far as we can, and then go even further.
6:10 remaining in the first quarter, and really not the scoring outburst we thought we would see early on here between Houston and Illinois. The Illini leading the Cougars 7-3.
Plenty early, Frank.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Think we might be here a while?
Yeah, it's 6:10 left here in the first quarter. There may be another couple scores before this quarter's over.
Roman Anderson to kick off for Houston. Short kick. And moving up and getting into a debate with Camino Bell is Clinton Lynch. But Illinois will have the ball at the 26-yard line, 1st and 10. Let's go to New York and Roger Twibel.
Thank you very much, Frank. At the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York, opening kickoff, Terry Richardson will field it. He gives it to Kirby Dardar, a redshirt freshman from Tampa, Florida, and he'll go all the way 95 yards for the touchdown. The Orange would also add another touchdown. They lead it right now, 14-0. Let's go back to Frank.
Illinois had a 1st down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They send Clinton Lynch out over the 25 to about the 28-yard line, a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 10 as Jason Verduzco, the 5'9", 190-pound junior, steps into the huddle. Was a wrestler in high school, Antioch High School, Antioch, California. John McAvick. Now in his 4th year at Illinois, looking on. 2nd down and 6. Camino Bell. Close to the 29-yard line. Hit there by Eric Blunt.
Boy, that was a good, solid open field tackle, Frank. That's the way you attack somebody. If you're going to choose to tackle somebody on the upper body like Blunt did there, that is the way to stand a guy up in his tracks.
3rd down and about 5, and Ben Hurt was telling us he's going to need a big performance from Nigel Ventress and Eric Blunt, 2 young linebackers, if they're going to be successful defensively. Verduzco back with that deep drop. Fires, and it's complete. It goes to Palma. And Palma has the yardage for the 1st down out of the 35-yard line.
Boy, real smart pattern by Gus Palma. Knowing where you are on the field is one of the most difficult things for a receiver to learn. And Gus Palma knows exactly the depth he had to get a 1st down. I mean, he has a 1st down by about a yard. You could see off to the right there where the flag was. Just a well-run pattern. Not bad coverage, just extremely well run and well thrown on the part of Illinois.
Ben Hurt, the defensive coordinator for Houston. He calls the defensive signals from the sidelines. 1st and 10 Illinois at the 36-yard line. Lynch breaks a big one out over the 45-yard line to the 46-yard line.
Boy, you know, that's where Ben Hurt right now just had a few more hairs fall out. As a defensive coordinator, all you want to do is call the right thing at the right time. They had the blitz called that time. I mean, in the right spot. McCoy comes flying through and doesn't make the tackle. What hair Ben has left is falling out rapidly after plays like that.
They do blitz big time, too. Against Miami, when they played them about 10 days ago, they were blitzing when they were down 21-0. I guess it's not a bad call, but they blitzed through the entire game. And up this time with Fagan, and Fagan is met behind the line of scrimmage. Michael Ventress, the junior linebacker.
Ben Hurt was telling us the strength of this football team is our linebacking core, and here's just another player that comes in and gets in on it. There's Nigel Ventress with, again, a textbook tackle, driving Fagan backwards. So far, we've seen plays by Blunt and Ventress and McCoy. I mean, this is a strong linebacking core for Houston.
2nd down 11. Houston likes to blitz on 2nd and 11. Illinois keeps it on the ground, and Illinois calls on Clinton Lynch, and Lynch is up to midfield. It'll be 3rd and long, 3rd and 6 for the Illini.
Pretty good ball control here by Illinois. John Makovich's club, and you can't blame them for wanting to do so. Every team that plays Houston this year is going to want to eat up as much of the clock as possible, consume as much as you can offensively, and keep David Klingler and the rest of that group over on the sidelines. This is a drive that's working pretty much to the way Illinois would like to do it all afternoon.
3rd and 6. Turner, the intended receiver, and good coverage by John W. Brown.
Yeah, well, you can hear what the crowd thinks of that coverage by John Brown. They wanted a flag. Let's take a close look at it. All right, there is Brown working against Elbert Turner. Again, the crossing pattern to the inside. No, that's a well-timed tackle by John Brown. The ball was already past Elbert Turner when he put his left arm on it.
Corey Wells to punt. Jerry Parks is dropped for Houston. Parks calls for the fair catch, and the ball moves through the end zone for the touchback. 2:32 remaining here in the first quarter, and the Illini lead the Cougars 7-3. A reminder, Monday night, Dan and I will be moving up to Soldier Field to watch the New York Jets take on the Chicago Bears. The Bears getting by the Giants last week, and the Jets with a fine showing against Buffalo.
It is Soldier Field time. Mike Ditka stalking the sidelines. Mike Singletary, of course, in the middle. Question is that other guy, what's that, that other guy works with us? Is he going to be there? What's his name?
You know he has eyes and ears. He's listening everywhere.
Oh, Al Michaels. Yeah, he'll be there, too.
Al, of course, doing the Arizona State and USC game. And a big day for college football here on ABC. On 1st and 10, the Cougars, Klingler is back. Klingler chased out of the pocket and tried to get rid of the football to Tracy Good. Incomplete. Mike Hopkins was kind of caught in the middle there. The resident genius on this defensive team for the Illini, an astronautical engineer.
Well, I think Hopkins played that beautifully. He came up just far enough to keep Klingler from coming across the line of scrimmage and running the ball, and stayed far enough back that Klingler was forced to put it in the air too high and trying to get it to Good. That was just a great play by Hopkins.
2nd and 10. Trips left. 3 wide receivers are put to the left, 1 to the right. And the ball is thrown underneath to Austell Miles, and Miles with a pickup of about 5 yards out over the 25-yard line, but the play read very well defensively by Illinois. Rucker, the lead tackler, the extra back now being employed by Illinois in their nickel defense. They're going with 3 down linemen, 2 linebackers.
One of the Illinois players, I think that's John Holisek, was forced to come out.
For injury.
Holisek's helmet is in some shape, manner, or form bent, broken, cracked, or has a problem with something or other.
John Holisek, one of the freshman linebackers, is seeing a lot of action today.
This will be a situation where Illinois will drop back into that zone. Try to force Illinois to work underneath.
6 defensive backs now. 3rd down and 5 for Houston. Draw play. Miles, but the whistle sounded before the ball was snapped. Austell Miles.
Well, they didn't use too much time. There was still 4 seconds left on the play clock. Did somebody move?
Formation. Jenkins.
We have a dead ball. False start on the offense.
A little movement that we didn't detect. It doesn't take much.
Frank, I'm not sure we could detect big movement from where we are.
You need some eagle eyes up here, don't you? Our position located high atop Memorial Stadium here on the campus of the University of Illinois. A lot of great football players have played on this field. It's Upke Field. 3rd down and 10 for Klingler. Short drop. Fires back across the field to Marcus Grant. Grant is close to the 1st down.
Let's see where they spot this ball. I think they're going to give it to him on the other side of the 30. It looks to me like that's good for a 1st down, and it is.
Boy, Dan, we saw the strong arm of Klingler earlier to John Brown splitting the zone. And watch this one back against. He sets up over here and just throws off the wrong foot, fires it back. That's strictly arm.
That's a sidearm toss by David Klingler. That's the kind of stuff that gets the pro scouts, that gets their juices flowing.
On 1st down, Klingler looking for Marcus Grant. And it's incomplete. David Klingler, 6'3", 210 pounds. Fine athlete. Fine athlete. Strong an arm as I have seen.
In high school, now check this out. Here's a guy that high jumped 6'9", long jumped 24 feet, has a 38-inch vertical jump. I mean, we are talking about an extraordinary athlete at the quarterback position.
Did he hurt himself a week ago against Miami? Not in the minds of many professionals. Still Miles.
Whoa.
And Miles pulls his way out of the 40-yard line. 230 pounds.
I think that was Derek Rucker, the DB for Illinois. I think he came in and put just a tremendous shot on Estelle Miles. Well, watch the tail end of this play. Again, Miles works to his left, just the delayed handoff. Excellent blocking up front that time. But watch from the right of your screen.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that is Rucker, number 39. On first down. Klingler fires to Tracy Good. The pressure is on Klingler, but he's been able to dance around back there out of the pocket and find the open man. That was good pressure to force him out of the pocket, but he just kept alive until he could find. And you're looking at John Jenkins. He's just seeing how long it took for him to get that ball off.
Well, he's also got some plays there on his arm. I believe they're written on the side of his arm. Some coaches carry a clipboard and rely on that. Jenkins has them taped to his forearms.
A gain of 8. Right to midfield. It'll be second down and 2. Illinois 7, Houston 3. We'll be back.
To an engineer, Chevy Lumina APV is corrosion-proof polyurea body panels, molded Velusta-Cup resilience, modular seating for 7,
Join us?
computer-modulated anti-lock brakes. But to a mom, the Chevy Lumina APV
Okay?
is a lot of innovation that makes her life
You guys did great.
a lot easier. No wonder more people depend on
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevrolet.
When you've got a tough case of athlete's foot, the itching, the cracking, the burning, you want a medicine that acts tough. Tough-Actin Tenactin. Clinically proven Tenactin cures even the tough cases of athlete's foot fungus. Get Tough-Actin Tenactin.
This is not what you want in a shave. Now you've got the edge with 6 rich lubricants for less irritation. You've got the edge.
When I first saw Sarah on the library steps, I swear it skipped a beat. When Don Larson was 1 pitch away from a perfect game in the World Series, it stood perfectly still. On that awful day in '63, it felt like it was in the pit of my stomach. And that incredible moment when we all took 1 giant leap for mankind, it nearly burst with pride. But last year, when the doctors told me my heart was failing, and without a transplant I wouldn't last 6 months, that's when it stuck in my throat.
A year ago, the Prudential created the Living Needs benefit. Now, the terminally ill could collect their death benefit while they were alive, and they could use it for anything their heart desired.
Now that I'm alive and well, I think of the donor. I think of his family, and naturally, my heart goes out to them.
For information, call 1-800-654-ROCK.
David Klingler's younger brother, Jimmy Klingler, a freshman redshirt on this Houston Cougar team. He's bigger than Klingler. He's 6'4", 210.
He has to be a little more aware of when he might be on camera here so we can get him to... There you go, Jimmy. They could be brothers, they look so much alike.
Second down and 2 as we begin the second quarter. Klingler with little play action, and it does not fool the defense for the Illini. Coming across and making the stop. 6-man now in that defensive backfield as David Hill comes across on the blitz, ignores the fake draw and makes the stop.
There are the numbers for the first quarter. You can see the edge in yardage in favor of Houston. Those 2 big passes down the sideline to John Brown accounting for most of that, but Illinois has put together the more sustained of drives so far.
Ball resting close to the 45-yard line. Third down and 7 as Austell Miles wants to double check what he thought he heard. And whatever he thought he heard, it wasn't it. But Klingler breaks out of the pocket and Steps out of bounds near the 49-yard line. Now bring it back to the 49-yard line where Klingler stepped out.
Other than those couple of long passes to Brown, the Houston offense, again, just doesn't appear to be in total sync, Frank. I mean, there seems to be some hesitation. You see Miles there, number 34. Looks like he might have gone the wrong direction. I mean, Klingler is rolling out one way, and he's moving the other. And that had the look of a broken play.
That's what he was querying Klingler about before that ball was snapped. He set up on the wrong side. He got into the traffic and paid dearly. 4th down, and Houston will go. 4th down and about 2.5 yards. And Klingler looks over the defense, running short on time. No, actually he wasn't. He just did not like what he saw, and he calls timeout.
Well, I did. Boy, I'm hard-pressed to see the strategy in going for it. Now, maybe he was going to stay under center and try to draw Illinois off sides, but at this point in the game, this early in the second quarter, and only a 7-3 score in favor of Illinois, bold play by Houston going for it on 4th down. And it's not 4th and 6 inches either. It's 4th and every bit of a couple of yards. In fact, closer to 3 yards than it is to 2.
So John Jenkins talking to literally his extension on the field. John Jenkins, a strong advocate, more than strong advocate of the run and shoot offense. He thinks definitely is the offense still to come. And he's taken it a little bit of a new level, even from that of what Jack Pardee had when he was at Houston.
Well, they've had the right people at the throttles, Frank. Andre Ware and then David Klingler.
It does help, doesn't it? Like a Warren Moon with the Houston Oilers.
How does the one city get a lock on the run and shoot like that? I mean, they had the Houston Gamblers, where Jim Kelly was doing it, the University of Houston, and the Houston Oilers. And this is just aggressive football on the part of Houston.
4th down, a little more than 2 yards to go for the 1st down.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what happened there. David Klingler tapped his center, and David Klingler backed out expecting the football, and he didn't get it. He didn't get it.
Center thought it was somebody else.
Yeah.
Good ball. False start on the offense.
Yeah.
4th down.
Well, a classic case of where the 12th man gets an assist. The crowd here at Memorial Stadium in Champaign discombobulated. You see Klingler, he takes a step back, and the quarterback can have a false start just like any other player on the field, and that was the case there.
That was the bad news. The good news is on 4th down now they'll kick away, still with good field position, as Phil Johnson comes in.
And remember, that's not the type of play where you could decline the penalty even though it was a completion. That's a dead play. It never happened.
That was Johnson, and Charles Langston will punt away for Houston. Low kick that goes off Langston's foot, but takes a good Houston bounce and will be marked at the 11-yard line. So the Illini leading 7-3 with 13:57 remaining in the second quarter. We'll have a 1st and 10 at their own 11-yard line.
Oh, he looked scarier 25 years ago.
Did I?
You looked scared.
I don't know. I thought I hit it well for an innocent groom.
You were innocent for the 60s.
Any regrets?
None. You?
Just one.
What?
That I waited 25 years to give you this.
The 25th anniversary diamond, a brilliant celebration of the loving marriage.
I've got goosebumps.
Well, you've given me goosebumps for 25 years.
Bulletin from Chevy Truck. Now get $1,000 cash back on every new 1991 Chevy full-size. The best cash back offer on America's best-selling pickup. Now through September 25th, $1,000 on every new 1991 Chevy full-size pickup. Every half-ton, three-quarter-ton, 1-ton. Every two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, all with $1,000 cash back. You must take retail delivery from dealer stock by September 25th. See your Chevy dealer for details and get $1,000 cash back now.
I just read something new. If your athlete's foot won't go away, you could have more than athlete's foot. You could also have a secondary yeast infection. That's right, yeast. It burns and itches just like athlete's foot. To solve this problem, You need Mycotin.
Only Mycotin cures both athlete's foot and secondary yeast infections with myconazole.
Oh, thanks.
So why treat only half your problem?
Step up to the cure. Step up to the Mycotin.
National Powers meet. The #1 team in the country, Florida State tackles third-ranked Michigan next Saturday on ABC Sports.
Frank Gifford along with Dan Deerdorf. Champaign-Urbana, Illinois. The Houston Cougars and the Fighting Illini of Illinois. The Illini leading 7-3, just underway here in the second quarter. Illinois has the football, 1st and 10, the ball at their own 11-yard line. Radisco pitches out to Camino Bell, and Bell gets back to the 15-yard line, or the Steve Fagan with the pitch out. Fagan, one of the most celebrated high school stars to come out of Florida in a lot of years, in Deerfield Beach, Florida. Radisco at 5'9", so he never really has a problem seeing over the 6'4" and 5 offensive linemen. He does take a very deep drop, and they do roll him out a lot. 2nd and 6. Camino Bell. Franked on the inside to the 19.
One of the things I like about Verduzco, though, is when you see him look and survey around the field, you can tell that when he makes a decision, one of the things I like about him is how quickly the ball leaves his hand, how quickly he can stop, plant, and throw the ball with good technique. Some quarterbacks just don't get rid of the football as quickly as Jason Verduzco does, and that's a great aid.
John Malkovich told us he's always thoroughly prepared for a game. One of the most prepared football players he's ever worked with. 3rd down and 2, and the line go to the air, and this is Dilger, the tight end, and Dilger out to the 45-yard line. 3rd down and a long 2, and Illinois goes to the big tight end.
And that's a redshirt freshman tight end, and he is a great target for Verduzco at 6'5" and over 240 pounds. And here's just a good example. You can see that Dilger wasn't the primary receiver, but he was so wide open.
Well, there'll be a lot of pro scouts watching Dilger grow up at 6'5" and 240. He was a high school quarterback, a good athlete. And Illinois has a 1st down at their 46-yard line. Fagan in motion. Camino Bell. Bell powers his way to midfield. Gain of 4.
That pass to Dilger didn't end up in a touchdown. It'll be semi-lost in the stats of the game when all the plays are run and added up. But when you think about the fact that Houston punted, pinned Illinois back around their 10-yard line, and now Illinois is already operating up at the 50-yard line. Those are the kind of plays when they get you out of that kind of trouble. If you end up winning the game, you look back to 3 or 4 plays, that could be one of them.
Verduzco looks over a 2nd down and 6. Play action. Verduzco deep drop and almost picked off. Jerry Parks defensively there for Houston, almost came up with the interception. Verduzco, I mentioned, was 5'9" and 190 pounds. He was a lettered 4 years in wrestling at Antioch High School in Antioch, California. Well, trying to go to number 5. John Wright is Verduzco, and Jerry Parks just missed the interception.
Boy, that looked like a ball that he could have had rather easily.
3rd and 6. 3 wide receivers right. Verduzco pulls it down after the good pass fake downfield. Verduzco saw good coverage on the part of Houston, pulls it down and gets the 1st down.
Move the chains, move the chains. This was really good protection initially there by Illinois. You see everybody just gets run right by Jason Verduzco, and it was excellent coverage in the Houston secondary, and that's just one of those things. That's where everybody was doing their job pretty effectively in the secondary for Houston, but Verduzco on his own picked up a 1st down.
Back to the inside.
Well, there's a late flag.
Clinton Lynch, and the flag comes in late.
That was Ryan McCoy on the tackle, and I don't know if he got a hand on a face mask or not.
We have a 5-yard face mask against the defense. Still first down.
Jim Kimmering, the referee.
There comes McCoy at the top of your screen. See him up there in the left corner. Oh, yeah, and he reaches out, and he just puts the handles on Lynch with that right hand up on the face mask. Good call by the official.
First and 5. Yardage is not enough, of course, for the first down. Ball at the 37-yard line of Houston. Albert Turner inside the 25-yard line.
Verduzco is putting on a clinic with throwing the football. I mean, that was another strike to Turner. The Illinois receivers are having a lot of luck in breaking their patterns off to the inside. That time Steve Harris was in pursuit, but just too far behind. But this is going to come back.
Loss of down, second down.
So good effort on the part of Verduzco to get that ball to Turner.
We have a 15-yard, I believe I heard the referee say, loss of down penalty against Illinois.
Ball is backed up all the way to the 49-yard line. Offensive pass interference.
Yeah, we were being told it was on the far side of the field, something out of our camera shot.
And a very late flag coming in. And another flag.
Well, that's one of the Houston players was about 2 yards in the Illinois
Dead
backfield.
ball, encroachment on the defense, still first down.
And we'll collect 5 of them back.
Second down.
Second down. And long yardage in a situation where the Houston Oilers like to come with the blitz.
They're showing.
There they come. Verduzco with a quick read. He was ready for that. Had the perfect play called. Lynch. It was almost as if they knew Houston was going to come with that blitz. A set play. They pulled Lyman in front of Lynch. Beautifully executed.
Well, if you're going to work off tendencies, this is a high blitz down and situation for Houston. And John Makovic, who calls the offensive plays for Illinois, gambled that they would blitz, and boy, did he hit it right.
The perfect play called for the blitz.
And Illinois has overcome that disastrous penalty.
First and 10 inside the 25-yard line of Houston. Lynch again, close to the 20-yard line. Lynch, a 5'10", 187-pound sophomore with good speed. A reminder, big day here on ABC. Tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. ABC's college football is back with more regional action. BYU will meet Penn State. The 4th-ranked Washington Huskies will face 9th-ranked Nebraska, or Georgia will battle the Alabama Crimson Tide. The best is here tonight on ABC Sports, so stick around and enjoy.
Well, that Washington-Nebraska game, that's an all-star effort there. I'm anxious to see that.
Second down, Verduzco. Throws well short of intended receiver Albert Turner, and it is well that he did because Turner was well covered. I think Darren Woods, the safety, picking up Turner as he made a deep crossing pattern.
There's Turner, and there was just absolutely no chance at all. Daniel Johnson was the DB in front of the ball. What about this drive by Illinois? Keep in mind, this started all the way back around their 10-yard line. They have eaten up a big chunk of the clock, and they have consumed a lot of the field as well.
Third down and 7. Verduzco fires, shot and is complete. Palma once again. The senior wide receiver who missed the action last week against Missouri. His third touchdown of the season, and a brilliant pass by Verduzco. And he is putting on a clinic, Dan.
Frank used the term brilliant, and it's difficult to argue with that. That's as pinpoint a pass as you will ever see, because really, the Houston coverage is very good. Palma's coming across the middle. I mean, look at the coverage. I'm not sure Palma knew right away he had the football. And that is, again, the Houston secondary finding themselves vulnerable to the crossing patterns of Illinois.
Chris Richardson splits the uprights, and Houston continues to work the clock. And they continue to put the points on the board. They lead the Houston Cougars 14-3 with 8:45 remaining here in the second quarter. We'll be back in a moment.
Getting to know you.
Well, we could have bought an expensive foreign car.
But we got the Geo Prism for 1/3 of the cost.
It's so quiet that it doesn't sound like your car is actually running.
When I need it, it's there in the driveway, not in the mechanic shop.
This is my second Prism. The Prism is good for the environment because it's fuel efficient.
I got all this in my Prism. Didn't have to rent a truck.
I feel very secure in my Prism.
Get to know Geo Prism. It's right around the corner at your Chevrolet Geo dealers.
Getting to know you.
Cars of the future are like this.
It's a symbol of security for millions of Americans. A document that protects your rights in all 50 states. And an inspiration for all who honor it. It's the Goodyear Promise. Available only with Goodyear Certified Auto Service. It includes a nationwide warranty that promises we'll fix your car right or fix it again free at 2,700 locations nationwide. Good tires, good service, good people, Goodyear.
Get out of that Wednesday slump with a great new season for 3 of TV's hottest shows. First, on an all-new Dinosaurs, the Sinclairs go on TV.
Don't touch that dial.
Then, an all-new Growing Pains special preview. And look what's up on the season premiere of Doogie.
Life, the mother of all firsts.
I was afraid I wouldn't be any good.
You're doing great for your first time.
Dinosaurs, Growing Pains, the season premiere of Doogie. They'll get you over the hump Wednesday on ABC.
I got to get over the hump.
Everybody wants to throw a touchdown pass. How badly do you want to throw it? Watch the hit that Cadrez puts on Jason Verduzco. That is a cruncher. But this makes it worthwhile. I mean, a perfectly thrown ball to Gus Palma. And Illinois has their second touchdown of the day that culminated a fabulous drive. 12 plays, 89 yards, ate up over 5 minutes of the clock. And that just... And they overcame the big interference penalty that set them back. Big-time drive and score by Illinois.
And great calls coming in. A great call on a 3rd and long situation by Coach John Makovic that sprung Lynch for a first down. Richardson hammers one down to the 3-yard line. Creasy Good will bring it out. Good with a good move at the 20-yard line. Spins out close to the 28-yard line.
Well, Frank, now here comes something interesting. A team that doesn't have to do it very often, but for the second week in a row, Houston's having to play catch-up football. I know they have the offense to play catch-up football in that run and shoot, but still, this is a team that's used to being in front of people and adding it on. Now they're finding themselves in arrears. Even though it's early, it's still an unusual situation for them.
You know, they've been puzzled by the Illinois defense, which is alternating between 4 down linemen or 3 down linemen and a down linebacker and anywhere from 5 to 6 defensive backs. But Klingler has been back. He gets forced out of the pocket. Now he finds an open man. Splitting the zone is Verlin Brown. That was about the first time that Klingler looked like he was comfortable back there, was able to sit, look downfield, and he didn't have pressure.
Yeah, he didn't have pressure. I think you saved the most important for last. You're right. He had plenty of time to look downfield and throw it. Again, working out of the shotgun. John Jenkins thinking that he was going to surprise Illinois using the gun. There it is again.
4-man rush, and it pays off with a sack at the 41-yard line.
There's Mike Pulaski.
Pulaski was there first.
By far the best of the group up front for Illinois. He had 5 sacks coming into today, and he's been there a couple times so far. And that's sacking the quarterback with the ends of your 4 fingers on the left hand. He did not get much on David Klingler.
Pulaski got there first, and Joe Wall was there. Lou Tepper said he would need, the defensive coordinator said he would need a great effort by both these men. He got one there. 2nd down, 13 yards to go. Also Miles, and Miles dropped out close to the 47-yard line. Pulaski once again.
Boy, strong series so far for this senior from Joliet.
They're not big, Dan, but they're very quick.
Notre Dame pouring it on Michigan State. Texas A&M loses by a point.
3rd and 8. Klingler again chased out of the pocket. And with no receiver downfield, steps out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
David Klingler being nonchalant over towards the sideline.
Rutgers over Northwestern. Wisconsin, Iowa State holding it close. 4th down.
Central Michigan wins again, beating the Zips from Akron.
Langston comes out, and Philmel Johnson, number 3, will drop for Illinois. Illinois' last drive started with the 11-yard line, and that's exactly where Johnson has positioned himself for the punt of Langston. Langston in trouble, and very wisely kicks the football if we don't see a flag for Lyman downfield, and we don't. Good move by Langston. What so often happens is the punter will pull the ball down like that, decide to run with it, and come up short. And that time Langston, with a real good head on his shoulders, punted away.
Yep, that was a smart play by Langston.
Illinois will start at their 4-yard line. Let's look again.
Although he made a decision that it was going to be blocked, and I'll tell you what, that's as heady a play as you'll see a punter make.
Had he run with the football, he would not have been able to run for enough yardage for the first.
In the NFL, that would have drawn a penalty for people being long gone by the time he kicks the ball, but here,
as I suggested,
Frank, you and I both are having trouble realizing this is a college football game and not the NFL.
And 7:01 remains in the first half. Illinois leading 14-3 over Houston. Fagan out over the 5-yard line, up to the 11-yard line. Illinois, I think you might see them spend a little more time on the ground. They've been very successful with it, and it does move that clock.
Well, this is such a big series defensively for Houston, and that's a discouraging way to get it started, giving up that many yards on first down. This would be the perfect opportunity to make Illinois go 3 and out and set up your own offense in some decent field position.
2nd and 4. Quick snap. Clinton Lynch. Lynch with a lot of speed, seeing the most action that he's seen all year long and putting up the best numbers. He gets a first down. Lynch out close to the 24-yard line. The sophomore, 5'10", 187-pounder.
Frank, wouldn't you agree this is most impressive, the work we've seen so far today by the Illinois offensive team? I mean, they are dominating the defense from Houston.
And as you know, Dan, at any level of football, when you can run the football, and Lynch himself has run for 35 yards on 6 carries. When you can run it, you can throw the football a lot better. Makes that defense check themselves. They stop to think before they rush. Rodisco again throwing a rope, and he connects with Albert Turner out over the 35-yard line for Illinois first down.
I know it's a little premature in this game, but Jason Verduzco is saying to himself, you know, that Heisman Trophy wouldn't look so bad sitting in my family room either. Again, the crossing patterns. Illinois setting a real precedent here early in the ball game by finding their receivers open across the middle. Everything that seems to break to the inside is open. Very little sideline work. Why should they? Everything in the middle is open.
First down, Illinois. Rodisco again. That should draw a flag, and it does come in late.
Well, that's one way to keep a receiver from breaking to the inside.
Mug him at midfield, and John Wright was mugged.
Just as he was attempting to go to the inside.
There he is, top of your screen.
Yeah, watch this. He's going to make a move to the inside. There he breaks away.
We have pass interference against the defense. It'll be a spot foul. First down.
Kenny Perry, number 8. Don't ask me to explain why he just took a bead on Wright and leveled him. I mean, there's just no way you can do that. I can only assume that he'll plead temporary insanity. I lost my head.
And who will listen?
Nobody.
Another first down for Illinois. Verduzco, 8 of 12, 162 yards. Klingler numbers.
Wrong performance for Jason.
Illinois at their own 46-yard line. Verduzco fires to John Wright Jr.
Verduzco completes the
John has reception at midfield. By the way, at the conclusion of today's game, we'll be selecting a Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game from each team. And for the 21st year through the Chevrolet Scholarship Program, $1,000 will be donated to the General Scholarship Fund of each school. And Jason Verduzco has won that award from ABC on 3 different occasions. So he likes the ABC cameras. Fagan to the outside, and Fagan picks up a couple, giving 3 to the 48-yard line.
Eric Blunt over there on the tackle. And good pursuit by the linebacker. And again, as we mentioned earlier, it's a strong linebacking corps for Houston. But right now, it's John Makovic's offensive team that is just clicking beautifully. Cool, calm, and collected. John Makovic got his coaching start under Bo Schembechler at Miami of Ohio back in the mid-60s.
Went around San Jose State, Miami of Ohio, Dallas Cowboys, head coach Kansas City Chiefs. Third down at 4. Verduzco gets hammered, but he gets the ball out to Palma. And Palma down the sidelines for another Illinois first down at the 33. Ryan McCoy chased Palma down, but Verduzco very cool. He knew once again he was going to get hit, but he delivered it.
This is Illinois surgery, and I'm not sure that I don't know that they've supplied Houston with an anesthetic. Verduzco stood in there with the rush, even though the blitzing McCoy went right by him. But boy, look at the pass again, and that was a fine catch by Palma. Looks like Palma stepped out of bounds right there. You can see where his right foot hit the sideline, and that's where they spotted the ball.
First down. They work from the 33-yard line. Flags fly, and Fagan
flag on the play. The ball carrier
initially at the 34-yard line, driven back to the 35.
You saw a graphic there that said Illinois has converted 6 out of 8 of their third downs. When you convert 75% of your third down opportunities, it's difficult to lose
We have
a game.
an illegal shift on the offense. First down.
It is tough to lose a game when you can convert 6 out of 8 third downs.
John Makovic talking with Verduzco.
Here is Ryan McCoy, and boy, he takes a shot on the right side. That was Tony Laster, the tackle, that came in there and collapsed his leg from the inside. Middle linebacker, a lot happens coming at you from all different angles.
First and 10, 38-yard line. Fagan. Fagan was met right at the line of scrimmage. Nigel Ventress was there first. Eric Blunt, who is alternating in and out of the defensive alignment. There's defensive coordinator Ben Hurt, who sends the next defense in. They blitz a lot, this Houston team, and they blitz a lot in this situation. And this is the situation in which Illinois burned them a little earlier. Second down and long. Second down and about 14. Time remaining in the first half. Here it comes. And this time they get to Verduzco. Kenny Perry coming on the safety blitz. And Verduzco is dropped back at the 45-yard line. Blunt came from the linebacking position, and Kenny Perry comes from the safety.
We're going to see a missed block right there. Boy, that's great athleticism by Blunt. Perry gets there from the outside, Blunt from the inside. Perry was unblocked, but Blunt had to hurdle an Illinois blocker. And just when Houston needed a big play defensively, they got it.
When you buy a Super Color Special TV antenna from Radio Shack, you get a great value. And Radio Shack has everything you need to make installation easy.
Well, he spent a long time on the sidelines. Illinois has had several long drives here in the first half, and he spent the majority of this half on the sidelines or running from the Illinois defense. They've pressured him all day.
3rd down and 23. And a quick snap. Verduzco and wide open is John Wright. Wright will be short of the first down to the 32-yard line.
This will be maybe a 48, 49-yard field goal for Illinois if they choose to try one.
Verduzco again with a lot of time. He went on a quick snap, gets the protection. He was sacked on the play before, and this time a lot of time, and he gets the ball out to John Wright.
And I think Illinois here calls a timeout to decide whether or not they want to try a field goal or go for it.
Okay, we're going to have a little break here. Let's take a look at the University of Houston, located here in Champaign-Urbana.
Space, a new frontier in scientific research. The University of Houston is a leader in space education and research, located minutes from NASA's Johnson Space Center. As a space grant college and a center for the commercial development of space, the university works with NASA and industry on everything from the next generation of semiconductors to the space stations of tomorrow. The University of Houston, exploring the future of space.
Memorial Stadium here in Champaign-Urbana. If you're confused about your geography, we are in Champaign-Urbana, home of the Fighting Illini. A lot of tradition goes with the stadium, this field. Red Grange played the dedication game here back in 1924. George Hallis played here, left the campus to form the Chicago Bears, took the colors with him. And right now, with 2:30 remaining in the half, it's 4th down and 9, and Illinois leading 14-3. Leaves the punter on the bench. What an effort by Verduzco. He got away from a tackler and found Camino Bell for the first down.
Houston can't catch a break, and it's because of just some brilliant plays on the part of Jason Verduzco and his Illinois receivers. Again, under pressure, it looked like a sure sack on a 4th down situation, and it ends up being a 1st down. Here comes the pressure on the left side. That's Cadrez who misses him, and then he's buried, and right before he goes down, he delivers it. Ooh, that ball's on the field.
Ball is loose. Houston says they have it. It was Fagan, the ball carrier.
Cadrez is down there holding the football. How are they going to rule this? Nobody's making a decision.
Well, we know they won't be reversing it then.
No instant replay here in no replay in the NCAA. Illinois is going to keep the ball.
On the play, it was ruled. Illinois kept possession, 2nd down.
Illinois keeps possession, the ruling on the field, and Verduzco now 12 of 16, 206 yards.
And if you are a Houston Cougar fan, right about now you have to be saying to yourself, is nothing going to go right for my club?
Two tight end offense now for Illinois. Camino Bell, big opening over the left side. That's the run formation, and is the ball loose again?
Well, he looked like he was down. Houston pulled the ball out. That's a good call by the official. He was down on his back, and one of the Houston players smartly ripped the ball loose, but he was down.
Bell carries it to the 12-yard line. Another look.
See, there goes Bell. His progress there, he goes down on his back, and the play is really over right there, but that's good work. That's James Bevel, the nose tackle, who pulls that ball loose. That's the way as a defense. You keep scratching and clawing and trying to make a break, and Houston needs one desperately.
3rd down and 2 inside 1 minute remaining in the first half. Clinton Lynch finds a little gap on the right side and exploits it down inside the 5-yard line. Reminder coming up at halftime on the Prudential Halftime Report. Roger and Bo bringing the latest college football news, scores, and highlights. Plus, Roger speaks with Michigan head coach Gary Moeller about last week's dramatic win over Notre Dame, and the Wolverines date with #1 Florida State next Saturday. And they'll also talk about that 4th-and-1 touchdown to Desmond Howard. All that at halftime. 1st down, goal to go. Illinois dominating. Sprint to the corner was lost by Lynch.
Yeah, but not before he picked up some more yardage. 21 seconds remain on the clock here in the first half. Illinois was still 2 timeouts remaining, so that the clock really isn't a factor as far as dealing with timeouts, but they have to. You'd have to think they've got a couple more plays to get after it here. It's only 2nd down.
2nd down, goal to go.
Oh, the tight end trapped in the middle, and the back didn't follow him. Oh, if he just goes off Dilger's rear end, that's an easy Illinois touchdown.
Camino Bell. Dilger came back on an inside trap. Bell took it to the right side. He's short of the goal line.
Boy, you don't go back to where the guy left who's doing your blocking. If he just hits right off the crease right behind Dilger. Here we're going to take it. Here it is right from the end zone. Here comes Dilger in motion. You see the crease right there. If he just follows Dilger into the end zone. Ooh.
That's a walk-in. Hey, this is rather startling. Illinois has had the ball a little over 20 minutes, while Houston has had it just under 9.
There it is right there at the time of possession, and you're right. That is what everybody would like to do against the Houston Cougars. Well, Ben Hurt and his group, if ever they had a big play, this would be the proper place and time to execute that big play. They need a break. And in this situation, the only way you're going to get a break is to make it yourself.
3rd down, goal to go. 13 seconds remaining here in the first half. Camino Bell and Joe Moody are the setbacks.
13 seconds remaining.
Here's where being at home is a big help. They didn't get in. They didn't get in.
Camino Bell. And again, it'll be marked short, and it will be 4th down.
Here we go. This is interesting, Frank. Do you go for it, or do you kick the field goal?
Well, I think ordinarily you would go for it, but your defense has been playing so well, you have to figure that ordinarily Houston's going to put a lot of points on the board. You got to gamble a little bit, but the Illinois defense has played so well, they kept Houston to just 3 points here thus far in the first half. So it's a tough decision.
You know, I was an offensive lineman, so I always maybe had a jaded perspective, but that ball is at the 6-inch line. I always thought that if you can't stuff it in from 6 inches out, that you shouldn't win the ball game anyway. And when you're playing a team that can score points as quickly as the University of Houston, I think the players are telling John Makovic, let's go for it. Let's go for it. If we don't get in, we'll suffer the consequences.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. As John Mackovic sends his offensive unit back out.
And even if they don't get in, you go in with a 14-3 lead. And I think here is a good case of where the risk justifies the potential reward.
Sergio Adage offense, 3 tight ends. Camino Bell, 34. Joe Muti, 41 with 2 setbacks. Bell. Touchdown, Houston.
Smart call. Smart call.
Illinois playing an almost perfect first half. Tactically, physically, in every way. And Houston Cougar is down.
We've got an injured Houston player down in the end zone. Here it is from behind. If you're the middle linebacker, Ryan McCoy, this is your look. Just power football. There is a good lead block out front by Jonathan Kerr. There's Dilger in motion. Here comes Kerr, the guard, around to the outside. And Camino Bell just gets it in. They didn't have far to go.
Darren Woods was the injured Cougar, and now he's being assisted off the field. And Chris Richardson will come on for the conversion with 4 seconds remaining in the first half. And there's Darren Woods.
You know, Frank, the temptation really would have been there to kick the field goal and get the sure points, but I'm sure John Mackovic took one look across the field to see that offense that's on the far sideline, and that certainly was a factor in his decision. Of course, you know, Bo Schembechler back in the studio will probably have a different opinion, but
I want to hear about that.
As my former coach, he never agreed with anything I said anyway. So.
Thoughts about that 4th and 1 pass to Howard.
Oh, I'm sure that's what he would have called.
I'm positive. Chris Richardson with the conversion.
He misses.
No good. So it's 20-3, Illinois over Houston in a surprising development here in Champaign-Urbana. Houston Cougars coming off that 40-10 loss to Miami 10 days ago, and Illinois trying to bounce back from their upset loss to Missouri, 23-19.
There is Dilger in motion on the 4th down play. Boy, that's a good solid block as he turns upfield and gets a kick out on Tyrone Davis. And that's just power football. And there you get a look at, yeah, there's Darren Woods going down clutching that right leg. You know, Gary Moeller was on Bo's staff when he came to Ann Arbor in 1969, and now Gary has taken over as head coach. And I wonder how much second guessing he would have endured if that would have been an unsuccessful 4th down play. Look at that scoring drive, 96 yards. Keep in mind their scoring drive prior to that was 89 yards. You put together drives like that during the course of a football game, and that is everything you can ever ask an offensive team to do. But Gary Moeller would have, if Elvis Gerbuck's pass would have fallen incomplete to Desmond Howard, what a miserable week that would have been if Notre Dame would have won that game.
As it was, what a great week it was.
Darn right.
Richardson squibs one along. Torn Pope brings it out. And time will expire here in the first half. And the Fighting Illini exit to an ovation. And we're going to return with halftime activities. Champaign-Urbana, Zupke Field, after this message and a word from our ABC station. Stay with us.
Reporting from New York, Roger Twibel and Bo Schembechler.
And hi, everybody. Welcome back to our ABC studios in New York. Hope you've enjoyed the first half of that Arizona State Southern Cal game and what some people might say would be an upset at the moment, with the Sun Devils of Arizona State University at the Coliseum in Los Angeles leading the Trojans by a score of 25-10 at halftime. And I guess when you say Bo Schembechler, some people might suspect an upset. Maybe some folks don't know the Sun Devils are the only Pac team with a winning record against the Trojans.
Well, I think all of us might have underrated Arizona State. The other thing that you might take into consideration is when your defense played like Southern Cal's did against Penn State a week ago, I think they're having a little letdown. They don't look like the same defense today.
Well, let's take a look at that. We'll pick up some first quarter action for you. Brett Powers, the young quarterback of the Sun Devils, will find a veteran receiver, Eric Guilford, 16 yards in the touchdown. Of course, 6-0 there. And then Arizona State went for the 2 points. Parnell Charles finds the end zone, and it's an 8-0 lead for the Sun Devils. Second quarter, 18-3 Arizona State. Trojans quarterback Curtis Conway goes 12 yards on the quarterback draw. It pulls USC to within 8, but as we said at halftime, it's a lead for the Sun Devils of Arizona State. Meanwhile, Houston and Illinois, this was a game. The Cougars, of course, trying to bounce back, Bo, from that big loss against Miami. They came out in the shotgun today.
Well, I think they wanted to get some extra protection. But the truth of the matter is, Verduzco's having a great day for Illinois, and the possession time is like 20-10 in the first half. So Illinois is playing a great football game, and it looks to me like they're going to win it.
Well, the Illinois quarterback came in with more passing yardage than David Klingler, the Houston quarterback. Let's see what happened in this battle of quarterbacks in the first quarter. Jason Verduzco of Illinois, he'll toss this 37-yard pass to Gus Palma, and that will get the Illini on the board early with a 7-0 lead. And then in the second quarter, it's that man, Jason Verduzco again. He'll find Palma one more time, this for 21 yards. It capped an 89-yard drive. That got the Illini up 14-3. And, of course, at halftime, they have the lead over the University of Houston. And so far, it's not been a good day for teams from the state of Texas, because Texas A&M went up to Skelly Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Dave Rader, the youngest coach in Division 1A, got 231 yards and 3 touchdowns out of Chris Hewley. They scored 19 points in 2 minutes and 36 seconds of the third quarter. But this was the play. 2:47 to go. T.J. Rubley finds Chris Penn 63 yards in the touchdown and the upset in Tulsa today. The final score, 35-34. Tulsa beats Texas A&M, and what a big win for 34-year-old Dave Rader. Utah State and Oklahoma, this game being played in Norman in the fourth quarter. Duell Brewer with a couple of touchdowns, and it's 42-14, the Sooners leading in that one. Then, of course, today, it was Notre Dame and Michigan State. Rick Meyer, 3 touchdown passes. The Irish accumulated 651 yards of total offense, the most points given up by George Perlis at Michigan State. 49-10 the final there. And we want to bring you up to date on Mike Miller, the young man, Bo, who left Notre Dame this past week. He's from Houston, Texas. They compared him to Rocket Ismail. We talked to Houston Assistant Athletic Director Bill McGillis. He says that Miller has enrolled at the University of Houston. We talked to Miller's family today by phone. They said he is spending the weekend with a friend to think about things. But now this young man won't be eligible for football for a couple of years, but we understand he's an outstanding trackster, and he's thinking about doing that.
Well, I think he might be more interested in track than football. I think if he were Rocket Ismail, that he would still be at Notre Dame. You wouldn't let an athlete like that leave, and he wouldn't want to leave if he had that kind of talent in football.
Well, his numbers last year, 10.32 in the 100 meters, 20.82 in the 200, second in the nation for high schoolers.
He must be great.
So he's going to run some track, obviously. Minnesota and Colorado, of course, the Golden Gophers playing 8 bowl teams from a year ago this year. One of those teams, the University of Colorado, beaten last week at Folsom Field by Baylor. 58-0, folks, is this game right now. In the first quarter, Darian Hagan gets Colorado on the board with his 40-yard touchdown pass to Rico Smith on the first play from scrimmage. And then Hagan caps a 79-yard drive with his 30-yard touchdown pass to Mark Henry. And it's 58-0, that game in the fourth quarter. And one other game to tell you about, San Diego State and Air Force. And right now, in that contest, 21-20, the Air Force leading it in the fourth quarter against San Diego State. And, of course, Falk, he's been an outstanding young rusher. Last week, he had the 387 yards rushing. So far, 114 yards and 2 touchdowns today. Florida and Syracuse, this game being played in the Carrier Dome. And what a surprise as Syracuse leads it at halftime by a score of 28-14. We'll be back with more, but first, let's check out the ABC Sports Board. Caller. Oh, Gary, congratulations on that victory over Notre Dame. If you can, let's go back to the final moments. You had it 4th and 1. You called a play. You sent Gerbach in. He took a look at it. He called a timeout, and you were a little bit upset at that. You kind of did an impersonation of Schembechler. You threw the clipboard down. Can you run us through the scenario, what transpired then, and to the next play?
Well, Roger, the key thing there is I hate to use timeouts, and I thought we could have got the ball snapped, but he felt uncomfortable with the situation, and he's instructed if he doesn't feel comfortable to use a timeout. So I guess it all worked out well. We left the play on as it was called, and he had the option there, and so he thought the best thing was to do is pass, and after we scored a touchdown, I thought the best thing for him to do was pass also.
What can that do for a quarterback's confidence to complete a play like that in that big of a game?
Well, I think it does a lot for his confidence, and also obviously for a wide receiver, Desmond Howard. And he gave Desmond a chance to catch the ball. He put it up with a little air underneath it so Desmond could adjust to it, and of course he did an excellent job. And the only thing I say is that when we get Desmond out there, we have to use him in all situations and make everybody defend the whole formation.
Florida State, of course, the big game coming up next week, couple of ranked teams. This is a team that presents many, many problems for not only the players but the coaching staff. They can do so many things with the football.
Well, Roger, the key thing about Florida State that we have to cope with is their great speed, both offensively and defensively. It's hard to break plays on them for long distances because they can recover so well. And the other thing is you got to corral them. Their backs, their wide receivers, their quarterback is very capable of using the whole field with all of their personnel, and it's the great speed that concerns us the most.
Gary, I imagine you were glad to have that 1 week off after that hard-hitting game against Notre Dame before you had to play a fast team like Florida State.
Yeah, I think that's going to help us, Roger. We'll have to see how we play. We've never done this before. Last time we did this was 1941, and obviously neither Bo or I was a coach at that time. So I think it'll help us. One thing it'll help, hopefully we'll put the Notre Dame loss behind us, because we can't keep dwelling, the win, not the loss, but we'll put that win behind us, and we got to get focused on a great Florida State team, which is a big challenge.
Gary, thanks so much, and good luck against Florida State next week.
You're welcome, Roger.
Well, Bo, you thought you were through coaching. I'm going to let you do a little coaching right now. Number 1, Florida State. Number 3, Michigan. What does Michigan get concerned about with Florida State, and what does Florida State get concerned about with Michigan?
Michigan's primarily concerned with Florida State passing to all of their receivers, especially the fullback and the tailback coming out of the backfield. Florida State, on the other hand, must stop Ricky Powers and Desmond Howard, which is no easy task. Now, both of them had 2 weeks to do it. Let's see if they can do it.
And, of course, that game next week right here on ABC at 12 noon Eastern Time. And as we go to break, let's check the ABC Sports Board.
Illinois leads Houston, surprisingly, 20-3. We're about ready for second half action. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us. 3 deep for Houston as we await the kickoff here of the second half. The Houston Cougars down by 17 points to the Fighting Illini, and for Houston a very... Illinois leads Houston, surprisingly, 20-3. We're about ready for second half action. We'll be back in just a moment. Stay with us. 3 deep for Houston as we await the kickoff here of the second half. The Houston Cougars down by 17 points to the Fighting Illini, and for Houston a very tough first half. They only have the ball under 9 minutes. Offense seemingly totally puzzled by a changing zone defense of Illinois. We're set to go. Frank Gifford along with Dan Deardorff. Chris Richardson will put it in play. Deep kick by Richardson. Carries deep into the end zone to Tracy Good. And Houston will get their first possession from the 20-yard line.
Well, one of the things you like to do is consume the clock against Houston. Drop all the way to the bottom. 21 minutes and 4 seconds. Illinois has monopolized the ball and the clock. Put up 295 total yards in the process. And it is surprising when you look at the top left and see Houston there, only 3 points.
David Klingler, who now takes over the Houston offense, was 10 of 15 for the first half, 144 yards. His counterpart, Rudisco of Illinois, was 12 of 16, 204 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Klingler comes out bombing away to Freddie Gilbert, and Gilbert has first down yardage up to the 35-yard line.
Well, that was a good move by Gilbert on that screen, waiting for his lineman to get out there and throw the blocks. He caught the ball before they got there, and I know he had to fight the urge to just take off with it. Look at him, wait. That's it. Let your guys get out there. You saw John Morris, number 54, the left tackle, get the lead block that sprung him. That was good work by Freddie Gilbert.
From the shotgun. New formation for Houston. Klingler in trouble, as he was most of the first half. Out of the pocket, finds the receiver, and connects downfield to Verlin Brown.
Those might be the best-looking back-to-back plays that Houston has had so far in this ballgame.
But again, it was a scramble by Klingler.
Yeah, they've had a couple big plays, specifically John Brown on an up pattern down the sideline.
Klingler's read was to the right. His pre-snap read chased out of the pocket, and Cooley finds Verlin Brown.
That was a good throw, Frank, for a right-handed quarterback running to his left.
The first down is at Illinois' 49-yard line. Now still Miles a couple of yards to the 47, hit there by Holasek. John Holasek, the freshman linebacker. John Jenkins, his second year now as head coach. He calls the plays. He obviously designs the plays. And his extension on the field, David Klingler, from the shotgun. In and out of the hands of JV3, John Brown, the third. Pass that should have been caught. A flag is down, but again, Klingler, he amazes me, Dan. He threw off the wrong foot and just smoked that thing in there.
That ball appeared to be a little behind Brown. He had to kind of torque and spin back to try to get a hand on it.
Pass interference on the offense.
Whoa!
That hurts.
We have pass interference against the offense. 15-yard penalties, previous spot. Loss of down, third down.
Ooh, that's major.
Out of consideration in college football that these are sometimes just boys and young men playing this game. I think wisely so in college football, Frank. They don't identify the number of the player who got the penalty the way they do in the NFL. I think that's a good idea. I think it's a good
agree.
These are just kids. These are just kids.
Third and 22 for Houston. Klingler lays one out about 65 yards. Down he goes.
Unfortunately,
Pulaski was there.
Unfortunately, John Brown was only about 60 yards downfield.
That's true. Here's Pulaski. He levels Klingler long after he's delivered the ball. And I would have drawn a flag where we work on Monday nights.
That's, well, I think even on the collegiate level, that's roughing the passer. I mean, Pulaski took 2, maybe even 3 steps and put a helmet right in Klingler's back. It's a tough kid.
Fillmore Johnson is back. Langston just does get it off, and the flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Johnson driven all the way back, bobbles the ball at the 10-yard line. Covers there, but a flag is down at the line of scrimmage.
Now, there were people across the ball, and I can't speculate whether it was Illinois or Houston. There was mass confusion at the line of scrimmage before that ball was kicked away. All right.
Inside Illinois, and I would think that perhaps Houston would want to decline that.
It doesn't give them enough for the first down.
We have offside on the defense. Penalty is refused. First down.
The penalty yardage would not have given Houston a first down, and you're right, Frank. With the mishandle of the punt, it puts Illinois in poor field position.
Illinois with their first possession here in the second half. They lead 20-3. We'll be back in a moment. Not have a more beautiful day for football at any level. Temperature in the 70 degrees, little or no wind blowing on the field, and everything has gone the way of the Illini as they take over 1st and 10, their first possession here in the second half. Disco with big numbers in the first half.
And normally with a team, you talk about how disastrous it is to start back on your 10-yard line, but Illinois in the first half had a couple of extremely long drives, one of them 89 yards, another one 96 yards. So this may be their starting spot of choice back here. They have shown that they are able to keep the ball for long periods of time and cover big chunks of yardage in the process.
Clint Lynch picked up one into 2nd and 9. Lynch had 45 yards to lead the Illinois rushing attack in the first half. His biggest numbers by far this season. That's Bell over on the left side. And Bell is out over the 15, close to the 18-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3 as John McAvitt continues to direct the attack, which he did
Again,
I would say close to flawlessly in the first half. He made some super calls.
We're back, though, to another situation of what a tremendous boost to the confidence of the Houston Cougar defensive unit if they could force an Illinois punt here.
Jason Verduzco back in the pocket once again. Now steps out, gets in trouble, and delivers the ball once again. A spectacular play. Clinton Lentz, that's a fumble. Speed, he bobbles the football. It's loose and is covered by the Illini. How many breaks can you get on a single play as Ken Dilger is there?
What? I have seldom seen the ball bounce in one team's favor the way it is for Illinois here today. But you make your own breaks. And this is just extraordinary quarterbacking by Jason Verduzco. I mean, hit, falling down. He somehow gets enough on the ball. Houston tips it. I mean, that is actually tipped, and they still end up. Ventress tips the ball, and it's an Illinois completion, and then Illinois fumbles the ball, and it bounces to Ken Dilger. I mean, everything is going in favor of the Illini.
That was about 4 good things that happened for Illinois, and nothing happened good for Houston. Consequently, first down, Illinois at the 40-yard line of Houston. Play action fake. Velasco wants to go deep to Palma. Palma's 3rd touchdown of the day. Gus Palma. Verduzco hiding the ball. Palma in a full sprint, man-for-man coverage, 40-yard touchdown. And another 90-yard drive for Illinois. This young man is putting on quite a show.
You can go weeks without a drive of that length, and we've seen 3 of them in a little more than 2 quarters of play by the Fighting Illini. And look at the tight spiral thrown by Jason Verduzco. Again, the coverage was not bad at all. Jason Verduzco did not come into this season a Heisman candidate, but after 3 games, you have to seriously put him in there.
Richardson splits the uprights, and Illinois leads 27-3. There comes a point in time in every game where you look down and you look at an offense like Houston and say, well, don't worry about it. They can pull it out. They can bring it back. They can score quickly. But this young man has turned it around. Illinois can score quickly, and they can keep the football. Their average scoring drive, how long, Dan?
Well, their touchdown drives have been in excess of 85. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, 289s, 289s, and a 96. I mean, that's extraordinary.
And Richardson pounds another one into the end zone, so Houston will try again from their 20-yard line. And we talked so much about the offense for Illinois. The defense has really played well today. They have totally confused the run-and-shoot offense of the Houston Cougars.
You know, Frank,
are doing a great job there defensively.
Houston beat Louisiana Tech 73-3 in their first game. Since that game has ended, to this point in time, they've been outscored something like 67-13. That shows what a struggle it has been for Houston since they walked off the field against Louisiana Tech.
6 defensive backs now for the Illini as they settle into their zone. Klingler, draw play. Austin Miles stacked up at the 22-yard line, a gain of a couple. Starts to happen. Defense that maybe worried a little more than they should have about this offense in Houston. You're going to see a lot of things start to become self-generating with this defense. They're going to be the guy that wants to make the play, and you saw it there as Don Holisek moved smartly across to make the stop on Miles. 2nd down and 8. Quick shot to Freddie Gilbert. Gilbert only a couple of yards on that. This was a play that was open, not the only play that was really open. That and the long bomb to John Brown, who caught a couple in the first half, but that and the little short pass to Gilbert was about all that Houston has been successful with.
And that up pattern to Brown is what Illinois ought to be looking for right now.
Splitting the zone on the left side. Wow. Great effort on the part of Klingler. First to get away from the sack, then to get the football off to Gilbert as he threw it sidearm.
I'm not even sure that was sidearm. That might have been underhand.
I saw him practicing this yesterday afternoon. Remember Dan over the sidelines? He was doing just this.
You're right.
Whipping the ball, underhand. Look, he gets away from the sack. Lasky is there. Wall is there.
I mean, that was really sidearm. That looked like Kent Colby or somebody throwing a baseball.
First and 10, 43-yard line. Klingler gets away from one of the Illini rushers. That was Holasek, who is in the backfield once again. And Klingler, again, not having the time to set up and deliver the ball.
Here's a guy who once ran a 4.55 40, and he demonstrated that kind of athletic ability and speed right there. David Klingler is 6'3", 210 pounds, and as we talked about, combines that great athleticism along with that fine arm.
Second down and 8.
He needs some help, though, from this front wall. Houston's offensive line has got to give Klingler time to throw the ball.
He was sacked 5 times 10 days ago by Miami. Big hole for Austell Miles. Miles all the way to the 35-yard line. Maybe the Illini defense getting just a little eager to get to Klingler. Left a big opening for the draw play. The defenders coming in on the pass rush is pretty easy to take them whichever way they're going.
That was a good call. Notre Dame, you see they're 433 yards rushing against Michigan State. The Buckeyes winners.
Another first down for Houston. Klingler with a lot of time and not an open receiver, and again he throws one off balance, this time incomplete as he tries to go upfield to Sherman Smith. Sherman Smith, 5'7", 160. A lot of little folks running around out there today, a lot of little tough folks. Keep shuttling the receivers in and out.
Hey, don't we know where
Klingler, 13 of 22, 195 yards, no interceptions. Remember, 116 attempts and no interceptions this year. Well-designed play to Gilbert with a blocker out front. And Gilbert breaks it back, but the Illinois defense collapses on Gilbert.
Well, I think that was Mike Hopkins who just made a fine play. He was out there and fought off a tackler and turned that thing back to the inside.
Gain of 5, second down and 5. Klingler looks it over. Again, that little quick shot to the outside. This time goes to John Brown. JB3.
Well, now that was a good-looking play. I mean,
he looked with by Gilbert.
Yeah, he looked like he was going to throw it to the inside guy Gilbert, like he has in the past. It's coming back, a motion penalty against Houston, but that was intentional. He threw it beyond Gilbert all the way out to John Brown. But
we have an illegal shift against the offense. Still third down.
Referee is Jim Kimmery. An illegal shift.
Houston right now hurting themselves. That was a first down play. Instead now to bring up a third down and a full 10.
The trips are to the left. Moving Marcus Grant, the single wide receiver to the right. Klingler, a lot of time looking for a receiver.
That's
in and out of the hands of the Illinois defender, Mike Hopkins. He had such a shot at it. David Klingler's parents looking on. Boy, and you had youngster off the field, too. A good student. They got to be so proud. They have to also be concerned about what happened to him 10 days ago, Dan, and also what's happened to him here.
Well, right now he's forced to try to make something happen. I mean, he's a big-time competitor. That was a play that very nearly backfired on him. You just don't stop and throw all the way back across the field like that.
Another fourth down play for Houston. 4th and 10. This time it's picked off. Hopkins picks it off. Robert Crumpton in on the dime defense. Crumpton, the freshman, makes the interception.
Well, it's desperation time on 4th and 10. Good protection for Klingler, who again throws sidearm. But Crumpton just right in front, and there was not a Houston receiver within 5 yards of the ball. And the freshman from St. Louis comes up with a play that he'll remember for a long time. Someday he'll say, I intercepted David Klingler in a big game at Champaign.
Klingler's first interception in 142 attempts. Crumpton will remember that, and here comes Camino Bell. Big opening, and Bell all the way out to the 47 mark at the 48-yard line. Camino Bell having a big day, running the football, along with Clinton Lynch.
Here is a good look at a defensive line just being eradicated at the point of attack. Up front, Laster and Went, Simpson, Hopkins, Kerr, the guys that are really controlling the line of scrimmage for the Illini.
All right, guys, back it up, back it up.
First down, 48-yard line, the Illini. Camino Bell hit the line of scrimmage, scoots to midfield. Gain of a couple, it'll be 2nd down and 8. Those are the numbers as we creep toward the midway mark in the 3rd quarter. Illinois dominating on time of possession. They moved the ball well on the ground. And Jason Verduzco has been sensational. Big opening, and here goes Clinton Lynch. He's got a lot of speed, and he's gone. So long. For Clinton Lynch, the young sophomore with the speed.
It is a relatively small front line for Houston, and they are being manhandled. There is the blitz. A great lead block up front by Camino Bell. Boy, and there goes Lynch. That was sensational at the point of attack by the offensive line, and then Camino Bell takes down the blitzing linebacker.
I'll say, Dan, he ought to give Camino Bell 3 of those points. That was a great block.
Well, the run and shoot is going to have to do a whole lot of running and a lot of shooting to get back in this one.
It's been walk and pop so far. And it is now 34-3. Illinois over Houston.
A little brains, a little luck, and a lot of late nights. A good family, a good spot, and some good advice. That's the way it's supposed to be. And USF&G standing behind me. That's the way it's supposed to be. And USF&G standing behind me.
Oh, he looked scarier 25 years ago.
Did I?
You looked scared.
I don't know. I thought I hit it well for an innocent groom.
You were innocent for the 60s.
Any regrets?
None. You?
Just one.
What?
That I waited 25 years to give you this.
The 25th anniversary diamond, a brilliant celebration of a loving marriage.
I've got goosebumps.
Well, you've given me goosebumps for 25 years.
If you loved him in Home Alone and Goodfellas,
Come here, friend.
wait till you catch Joe Pesci as slumlord Louis Kritzky.
Do you know what kind of droppings those are? Moose droppings.
Sentenced to live in his own building.
How come the Queen moved in?
Because I killed the milkman.
Joe Pesci. The Super.
Looks like your automobile lost a little weight.
Rated R. Starts Friday, October 4th at theaters everywhere.
University of Houston, they lost 10 days ago to Miami, 40-10, and they are being pulverized here in Champaign-Urbana by a fired-up Fighting Illini who can do nothing wrong. And they have not only performed well, but they have been getting the bounce of the ball every break one might possibly get. And they lead 34-3. Richardson again hammers one, this time through the end zone. This is a pumped-up football team, and that goes for their kicker. So, what does John Jenkins say to his boys on the sidelines? We can put up a lot of points, but he is down by 31 with about a quarter and a half to go. And the Illinois defense, again, has been so troublesome for Houston. Klingler has made some spectacular plays, but he usually makes it after having come out of the pocket. 1st and 10, Houston, the 20-yard line. Little screen goes out to Tracy Good. Well designed, and it gets 6, and Good coughs up the football, but I think they're going to mark that he was down. Sean Streeter was there defensively as he rolled out from his defensive left-end position.
Well, there are Mr. and Mrs. Clint Lynch. Clint Lynch's mother and father, and boy, how proud they must be, huh?
He's had a great day.
What a kick that must be to watch your son come through like that and crank off the big one.
Klingler to Gilbert. And maybe he gets one out of it. Marlon Primus.
A great football player.
He's big, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
You look at his safety and you see one with 6'4", 225. You think, give me an outside route.
Yeah, he's got NFL written all over him.
3rd down and 3. Klingler trying to pre-snap read. Draw play. Still Miles close to the 1st down, and they'll mark it out over the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Houston.
You know, I think back to the last time Houston had the football, they had a good drive underway. They completed a 1st down pass to John Brown. That was called back because of a penalty, and then that really stalled their drive. It's just been a weird kind of game for Houston. Absolutely nothing has gone their way. A lot of it self-induced.
1st and 10 from the shotgun. Look out. Klingler again chased out of the pocket. And Klingler again almost intercepted, trying to get upfield to Tracy Good. Derek Rucker was close to the interception. Illinois continues to shuffle defensive linemen in and out of the lineup. Their stand-up linebackers that are providing the pass rush, keeping fresh people in there to harass Klingler. They've done it all day. Second and 10. Klingler. Gilbert steps out of bounds at the 36-yard line. 3rd down and 4 coming up for Houston.
A pass that the Illinois defense is more than happy to concede to the Cougars. They can have all of those that they would like to have. They have got to go vertical. Houston has got to somehow get the ball upfield.
Tracy Good, and Good will have another Houston 1st down out over the 45-yard line.
Well, I like this Tracy Good. I mean, for a little guy, 5'6", 170 pounds, he's not afraid to stay in there and take a shot from somebody.
Former high school running back, Dan.
A lot of toughness. I mean, I don't know. The last time I was 5'6" and 170, I was in about the 2nd grade, so I'm not maybe qualified to talk about how tough you have to be to play at that size. I can only speculate.
It looks like your earlobe. Klingler tried to squeeze one in, and it was deflected by Aaron Shelby. Lou Tepper, the defensive coordinator, who was quite critical in the local press about John Jenkins and the way they run up points against teams, has designed a superb defense for today's game. There is number 53, Shelby. Gets himself right into the pattern. Took him a while to get there, but he got there.
Well, he's just floating back in his hook zone, inside linebacker. That's his job in the zone. Get back into my area and defend that area, and that's what Shelby did.
2nd and 10. Klingler this time with plenty of time, but no receiver. Tries to go deep into the zone. And Marcus Grant was the intended receiver. Good coverage downfield. Robert Crumpton was back there. Illinois keeps changing from a 5-man defensive back set to a 6-man defensive back set, and this has totally befuddled Houston thus far.
That's Jimmy Klingler. That's David's younger brother, the freshman.
3 down linemen now. As there are 6 defensive backs on the field for Illinois. 3rd down and 10. Better hurry. Just did get it off. Good move by Klingler. Picked off. Marlon Primus. 2 Houston receivers were in the same area. Klingler tried to get it in, deflected into the hands of Primus.
I think that would have been a completion. I mean, that's just an indication of how bad it's going. I mean, he was actually throwing the ball, and Marcus Grant came across and actually deflected it away. Boy, I mean, it's just, when it begins to fall apart, it's disintegrating for Houston.
You know, I've played in games like this, Dan. I know you have.
Yeah.
You say, well, can't wait to get home and start over because things are not meant to be today. Illinois takes over 1st and 10, their own 43-yard line, and they will, I think, seriously work on the clock. Steve Fagan over the left side, gets a couple. 2nd down and 8. A little over 5 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter, and David Klingler, 10 days ago, a tough night against Miami when he certainly showed another side of a Klingler. He is one tough cookie. He was sacked 5 times, had nowhere to put the football many times, still didn't throw an interception in 59 attempts. And today he's having another rough go of it. 2nd and 8. Camino Bell over the left side, and Bell will get another 2. It'll be 3rd down and a long 3. And how many times have we said that, only to have Illinois come back and make that 3rd down conversion?
Well, you can do a lot of things offensively when your offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage, and that's exactly what's happening now for the Illini.
And with this man, he has been Mr. Magic on 3rd down situations today. Jason Berdisco. Camino Bell with a great move to the outside. Ordinarily, you would say headed north and south when you're looking for the 1st down, but he made the move. They got the 1st.
Bell actually looked like he could have easily picked up the 1st down if he would have stayed inside, opted to go outside, and even though it's a good hit down around the ankles there by Batiste, that's nice work there by Camino Bell.
Evan Batiste, quite a story. He's 25 years old, was in the Toronto farm system in baseball, and is a freshman at the age of 25. 1st down, Illinois. Clinton Lynch having a big day to the 40-yard line, a gain of 4.
Talking about Batiste, Frank, I've heard about not wanting to go back to the minor leagues, but this is a real change of pace. Batiste had spent those years in the minor league system of the Blue Jays, only got up to the big show for a very brief period of time. You see there Lynch almost ready to go over the century mark.
Very happy mom and dad looking on as he is having the best day of his career. 2nd down and 7. Berdisco with that characteristic deep drop, and a man open downfield, and this time knocked away. A reminder, join us next Saturday when ABC's College Football brings you an afternoon of action. First at 12 o'clock Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. The #1 ranked Seminoles of Florida State battle the 3rd ranked Michigan Wolverines. What a beauty that's going to be. Plus, at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific, regional coverage follows as Georgia Tech takes on Clemson. Colorado meets Stanford, or Pitt tackles Minnesota. Check your local listings for the game in your area Saturday on ABC Sports.
And don't forget, that is a 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central start there for that Michigan-Florida State game.
Verdisco somehow avoided the sack as his line collapsed on a 3rd down and 7. Tyrone Davis in on the blitz. There is Jason Verdisco's mom. I think it's safe to say she's come a long way to be here today. We're Californians, Antioch, California. And this youngster's having another great game. I mentioned earlier, he has 3 times been our player of the game on ABC television, and he is looking awfully good today.
Something disastrous is going to have to happen.
Torrey Wells just misses the corner, catches the end zone, touchback, and Houston will take over once again from the familiar area of their 20-yard line. 3:02 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Frank Gifford along with Dan Deerdorf taking a little holiday away from our colleague Al Michaels, who's out in the LA Coliseum with Lynn Swan watching Arizona State and USC. And we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow all our friends and affiliates along the line to identify themselves. First and 10 Houston from their own 20-yard line. Klingler fires out on the flat. Houston down 34-3 with 2:58 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and a game that has been thoroughly dominated on both sides of the line of scrimmage by the Illini. Klingler came in without an interception in 116 attempts. He's thrown 2 today. On 2nd and 10. Austo Miles, the big junior college transfer, out close to the 28-yard line. Miles had over 1,500 yards at Pasadena Junior College and averaged almost 6 yards a pop doing so.
The passing game, though, of John Jenkins' Houston Cougars is out of sync. This is normally a very vertical passing game, stretching it downfield with big chunks. Haven't seen a lot of it today, just a couple times.
3rd and 2. Looking for the quick man. Tracy Good on the inside. Collects the 1st down pass at the 31-yard line.
But that's just a pass that Illinois will concede for the balance of the afternoon. Kind of things you can do when you have a 31-point lead.
David Klingler, 5th in the Heisman balloting a year ago. Klingler has a man open, and it is Marcus Grant. Grant wide open, and one of the few times that Klingler has looked upfield and has found a receiver that has broken away from the coverage. Grant will get 1st down yardage to the 42.
Well, and it was a good, solid job up front. One of the few times today that Klingler has actually had the chance to survey the field and have a good line of sight upfield, and he found Grant. I mean, Klingler has been pressured the majority of the time here this afternoon.
Miles, and you saw Klingler turn around and tell Miles he was going to give it to him. Let's go to New York quickly now. Here's Roger Twiddle.
Frank, at the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, the Orangemen turned it over on a fumble, and Shane Matthews from 4 yards out will find Willie Jackson his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. He has thrown 11 now in 3 games, and the Gators have closed the gap to 7. Let's go back to Frank.
2nd and 8 for Houston at Illinois' 40-yard line. Shot out to Good. Good steps back inside, picks up the screen block, gets to the 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 4. Dana Howard, the freshman linebacker, with a fine play on Good.
There's the Houston defensive contingent. They have logged some miles this afternoon and some hours out on that field.
Klingler again splitting the zone, as he's done now 3 times to JB3, John Brown III. I tell you, there are not many passers, pro or college, could throw that ball in between the 2 zone defenders like Klingler has.
Another sidearm throw, though, Frank.
Boy, it had some steam on it.
He's really, that's becoming the throw of choice. Watch it here from high in the end zone. Rolling left, throwing with the right arm. Right-handed quarterback, that's a difficult thing to do. That's why the NFL is drooling over David Klingler.
The pump fake, firing into the end zone, and you have to admire what this man does with the football. He pumps over to the right, and that pass could have been caught for 6. And that was Ron Peters crossing at the back of the end zone.
There's Peters. He's the front man in that stack, just working straight across there. He's a freshman. That's about the only place that David Klingler could put the football. Would have been a nifty catch.
2nd and 10. And open in the end zone, and this time is John Brown III. JB3 comes down with the touchdown from Klingler. So Klingler puts one on the boards from 15 yards out. John Brown III with the great speed.
We talk about great speed. You're not kidding. John Brown is fast.
He once ran a 9.89 wind-aided 100 meters, and that's covering some ground.
That is. Keep in mind that this is a guy last year that had a 25.5-yard reception average. That's making the most of every catch.
Girl Scouts are looking at him. He's 6'3" and 200 pounds. Robin Anderson drills another one. Monday night, Chicago, Soldier Field. We'll be there. John Brown III for a 15-yard touchdown for Houston. They have cut Illinois' lead to 24 points with 38 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
And there will be the run-and-shoot faithful that will tell you that that is not an insurmountable lead at this point in time. If I said it, I would be accused of hyping the 4th quarter. So best in these situations to quote someone else.
Exactly. You've learned well, haven't you?
Well, if Houston's to make a run at it, they're going to have to play. They're going to have to play a whole lot better than they've played through the first 3 quarters. They've been dominated by Illinois.
Anderson puts it up high, not deep, and Scott Turner will bring it out. And Scott Turner will go down at the 21-yard line. So Illinois' job now not to get too complacent about it, not to get too cautious. They just stay with their regular offense. Move the football, work on the clock. There is John Brown III. We talked about that incredible 9.89 wind-aided 100 meters. That was at Dodge City Community College.
On the kicking team, there'll be a 5-yard penalty and re-kick.
That was before he transferred to Houston, and we're going to do this all over again. John McAvick now in his 4th year. Taking the Illini to bowl games in each of his previous 3 years, and we'll be, of course, joining Roger Twibble in New York for our Thrifty Car Rental post-game report. Boy, we have people all over the country today and
again,
tonight.
You know, again, I want to remind everybody about that Michigan-Florida State game next week. That is an unusual start, an early start at 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Pacific. So breakfast with the Seminoles and the Wolverines if you're on the West Coast.
You never can tell. They might throw another 4th down.
Well, it's not often.
Pass.
It's not often you get that good of a matchup this stage of the season, number 1 and number 3.
We won't see that again probably for a decade. Roman Anderson to kick off once again. Following the penalty.
A decade?
A light year. And better think about a couple of Illini deep men. Both of them looked at each other, and the ball went into the end zone, fortunately. And they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And again, the job for the Illini to keep things happening down there, not get complacent, not get conservative. John Malkovich's been around long enough to know that, too. He's seen the good and the bad times. I remember when he came up and joined Tom Landry, who he still keeps in close touch with, and one of the great, bright young minds that we had seen come into the game. He went to Kansas City, was there for 3 years before leaving in 1987, taking a year off, and then coming here to Illinois in '88. Jason Verduzco goes to work. Quentin Lynch. And this young sophomore is having quite a day.
What'd you think of that, Mom and Dad? Huh? I'm sure that brought Mr. and Mrs. Lynch out of their seat.
Oh, that's what I mean. Throw something a litlittle conservative, but keep that ball in the air. Keep it moving. You've been doing so well. And John Malkovich comes out throwing the football. This is high percentage stuff.
Look at the touch, though. Gentry's up in the air. I mean, that's beautiful touch by Jason Verduzco. Lofted it up into the air when he had to, and I like that. Lynch didn't go out of bounds. Cut it back to the inside.
On first down from the 40-yard line, Camino Bell hammers out to the 43-yard line as time runs out here in the third quarter. We'll be returning with more action between Houston and Illinois after this message and then a word from our ABC station. Fourth quarter here in Champaign-Urbana in Illinois on a day when Illinois has done little or nothing wrong, and they lead the Houston Cougars 34-10. With 15 minutes to play, they have a second down and 7, the ball at their own 43-yard line. And where they drawn off, the flags are everywhere.
Goodbye.
Joe Moody is gone, but the flags are down.
Well, Houston was across the line of scrimmage. All that remains to be seen is whether or not they made contact. First of all, were they drawn off? Second of all, did they make contact before the snap, which would make it a dead play? They're calling this a touchdown.
We have offside against the defense. We have a touchdown.
57 yards, Moody from Loyola Academy in Chicago. Transfer from Oklahoma University. 57 yards, and the run and shoot. You may have to reload and think about tomorrow. Beautiful blocking.
Yeah, you can see Jason Youngblood, number 98, was all the way across the line of scrimmage. And Joe Moody, a little used running back. What a big kick for him.
Chris Richardson. (41-10). Illinois leading Houston.
Well, there's Joe Moody, who gets a 57-yard touchdown this game. He didn't even have a carry coming into this game, and he comes out of this one with a nifty little touchdown and another long Illinois scoring drive. And we need to put together the numbers, guys, on the length of Illinois scoring drive so far this game. It's staggering. In fact, it's so staggering I've forgotten what it is.
Richardson, a line drive that'll carry into the end zone, and Good will watch it. And once again, Houston will start from the 20-yard line. Good kicking by Richardson today. He's either taken it out of the end zone or made it almost impossible to bring it out. And Houston has time and time again found themselves opening their offensive play from the 20-yard line. A thorough domination in this game by Illinois on both sides of the line, offensively, defensively. They've run the football. They have passed the football well.
494 yards in total offense for Illinois. 3 turnovers, a key number there on the side of Houston.
First down for Klingler. A little shovel pass inside, and that's the way it's gone most of the day as Austell Miles is nailed by Dana Howard, the freshman from East St. Louis.
One of the great high school football programs in America is East St. Louis High School in East St. Louis, Illinois. Bob Shannon, the coach there, and Dana Howard, just one in a long line of fine football players.
2nd and 10. Klingler again in deep trouble. Polasek, who was playing a fine game. This is a freshman linebacker. He's 6'2" and 230, and he's been all over the field today.
And a serious case of negative deja vu. There's Lou Tepper, the defensive coordinator of the Fighting Illini, and boy, he must be proud of his charges today. But this is a team that was beaten last week by Miami 40-10, and they look up at the scoreboard now and see it's 41-10 in favor of Illinois. That's a bad flashback.
And like that night in Miami, their offense now is backing up. Klingler again buys time by scrambling out of the pocket. Tracy Good was there, but was thrown behind him. And for Klingler, it's been not so much he has been getting pressure. He's been getting that too, but the coverage on his receivers has been, well, it's been exceptional. And lots of time he has had the time to deliver the ball had he been able to find the open receiver. They were just covered well.
Well, I feel sorry for David Klingler because I think far too much is made of the Heisman Trophy race. I think that far too much pressure is put on some of these young men in trying to accomplish this. The SIDs and the sports departments put out mega publications and posters, and right now David Klingler is watching the Heisman Trophy just evaporate right out from under him.
Philman Johnson hits the ball and takes it out to the 47-yard line. Langston with a great punt from the end zone. But Philmel Johnson brings it back. That's the way it's gone most of the day for Illinois, and one picture will tell you a lot.
And isn't it true that this auto part did, in fact, come from the defendant's car?
Objection. Prosecution is leading the witness.
Overruled. You may answer the question.
This part most definitely came from that car.
And how can you be sure?
I work for Napa Auto Parts. It's my job to be sure.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Napa people are parts experts, so they can answer any question, whatever the case may be.
Spend less time at the pump. The CRX HF from Honda.
There is a place where the most shocking stories of passion, greed, and vengeance are kept shrouded in secrecy, hidden behind the tightest security in the nation, until now. FBI, the untold stories. Then...
Oh, you smell so good.
American detective Bill Young cruises the Vegas Strip.
Can I have sex with both of you at the same time?
Okay, we got him. He's getting away!
American Detective begins its new season with all new cases Thursday.
I don't want to go to jail.
There is Jeff Kinney, the backup quarterback to Jason Verduzco. His dad, the great football player at Nebraska, played with the Kansas City Chiefs, and a fine football family. And you wonder when he may get an opportunity to get a shot at this game. Right now, though, Jason Verduzco steps under center for the Illini.
And he's had almost the perfect day, Verduzco. Ball at the 48-yard line of Houston. Clinton Lynch. Flag comes in late as Lynch moves to the 43-yard line. Sam Fa'ita, the 6'4", 280-pound freshman defensive lineman there.
I know one thing what some people around the country are saying, particularly people that have played the University of Houston.
Holding on the offense, 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Places like Louisiana Tech, I bet they're saying to themselves, I bet if John Jenkins was coaching the Illini, he wouldn't take Verduzco out of the game. John Jenkins has not made a lot of friends in the coaching community, and I guess it's the risk you run when you play that high-profile offense. But when a disastrous Saturday afternoon comes along like the one Houston's experiencing this afternoon, among other coaches around the NCAA, you're not going to get a lot of sympathy.
Long shot by Verduzco. Coming down with the ball is Turner. Not bad coverage there by Steve Harris, but Verduzco again put it right on the money.
Not bad coverage. I thought they were going to call interference. Looked like he was tackling Turner on his way down. Steve Harris, watch this. I mean, that's major league interference. He was hanging on Turner for 2 yards before Turner caught that ball, and there was no flag thrown. Turner made the reception anyway, but wow, that's having to work hard to catch a pass.
Turner with that great speed. Big Ten Hurdles champion. Comes down with the ball. 1st and 10, Illinois. 21-yard line of Houston. Camino Bell works the right side and works the clock.
This is just an overpowering performance by Illinois, last year's defending Big Ten co-champions. And I'll tell you something, John Mackovic is serving notice on people like the good folks up in Ann Arbor that, you know, Michigan might not be the only real good team in the Big Ten this year.
Illinois makes their Big Ten run, and they have next week off, Dan, and then October the 5th they go against Minnesota. Minnesota was thrashed by Baylor today, I think.
And I'm going to re-emphasize a point I made earlier. Jason Verduzco has put that Heisman Trophy on notice that I'm a candidate this year.
Yeah, it was Colorado that overwhelmed Minnesota today as Fenton Lynch moves to the 15-yard line. But you're right. I'm a believer about Illinois at this point, particularly their quarterback, Jason Verduzco. He's only 5'9", a 190-pounder, but I bet you that John Mackovic is so happy he made that decision back in February of 1988 when Mackovic came here. It was only a week before he had to commit. A lot of players did not commit to come to Illinois. Verduzco did. And here comes Fagan. Turns the corner, looks for the corner, and they'll mark it at the 1. And the former high school star from Deerfield Beach in Florida, Steve Fagan. It's another first down inside the 1.
Boy, great hustle by the Houston defense to make sure that this wasn't a touchdown.
Look at that block by Clinton Lynch.
There's Fagan turning the corner. And there's the push out of bounds by Steve Harris. He saves a touchdown, but only by about 6 inches. Fagan, the fastest of the Illini running backs, breaking the contain and getting around.
Dilger, the tight end, in motion. And Camino Bell. Illinois now doing it on the ground. Another look.
Again, just good, solid work up front by the Illinois offensive line that's playing the game of the year, certainly for them in this young season. Total domination up front.
It looks so good as the big tight end, Ken Dilger, leading that attack once again. 6'5", 243-pounder as Richardson hammers it through for the 48 point. They lead 48-10. We'll be back in a moment. They should be seeing Jeff Kinney, at least perhaps. I don't know whether John Mackovic will continue to go with Jason Verduzco with 11:25 remaining in the 4th quarter. Verduzco on a major role, and as Dan pointed out earlier, whereas Klingler might have trouble thinking Heisman, Verduzco can start thinking Heisman.
And only a 48-yard touchdown drive for Illinois. That must be really disappointing.
Richardson. This time an opportunity to bring one back by Andre Barry Sanders, and the whistle blows.
He had his knee down on the field.
Exactly. Boy, it's in our game. Deandra.
An abysmal afternoon for.
When you think back from the very beginning, it's hard to think of how many things have gone wrong for Houston.
I mean, that's just a smart call by the official. He's down on his right knee when he fields that kickoff.
So Klingler will take over Houston offense at the 9-yard line.
Look at that, 609 total yards for Illinois.
Incomplete. 2nd and 10. Thrown behind the.
Oh, they're calling it interception.
Derek Rucker is going to get the 3rd interception of the day. I thought it had come off the carpet, but they're going to give it to Rucker. And once again, a turnover. Klingler came in with no interceptions today. He has 3.
That's just a poor pass by David Klingler. Throws it well behind Freddie Gilbert.
Heads up by Derek Rucker.
And that's one of the best catches of the day.
Klingler just shaking his head.
We mentioned he didn't have an interception coming into this game. He'd had a long string of completions without an interception, and now he has 3.
Jeff Kinney is in now, quarterback for the Illini. Fagan inside the 15, close to the 12-yard line.
Frank, we talked earlier about these scoring drives for Illinois. Take a look at this. 69, 89, 96, 89, 70, and 80, and then that measly little 48 tossed in there. I can't recall ever seeing that many long drives by one team in one game. An extraordinary offensive performance by Illinois.
2nd down and 3. Lynch again pounds the middle up close to the 11-yard line.
Coley, with a 25-second clock, the 25-second clock will be kept on the field.
A problem with the 25-second clock, so we'll be kept on the field. If you heard that, Verduzco leads the 16 of 22, 340 yards, 3 touchdowns. I might point out that Illinois opened the season with well over 1,000 yards of offense, and that's the largest number of yards they put together since they recorded statistics here at Illinois going back to 1920, and they're certainly going to, after 3 games, exceed the best ever.
Well, Verduzco goes over 1,100 yards passing in only 3 games. I mean, that's just a strong start for Jason Verduzco.
That was Steve Madison in a fullback, a freshman from Toronto.
As in
Daniel
Ontario.
Johnson, 26, was the tackler. Ball is up to Houston 10.
Chris Richardson, who has been a major factor in.
Chris Richardson in for
He's got
the
some
field goal
snappy
attempt.
little shoes on here, doesn't he?
Fourth and one for the Illini.
When you get a kicker that put it in the end zone for you, it's just pretty nice.
There's some multicolored kicks for you. I mean, that's. I don't.
It's a whopping legs, too, doesn't it?
I don't give them any sort of a chance of big sellers.
Well, they've taken over 50.
A good look at how they've narrowed the goalpost here in college football, and when you're out on that hash mark, pretty severe angle, but Richardson nails it nonetheless.
27-yard field goal. 9:10 remaining here in the 4th quarter, and Houston would like to have that disappear quickly. And a reminder, Dan and I will be moving on to Chicago, joining Al Michaels there. Monday Night Football, the Jets and the Bears. And the Bears coming off their win over the Giants. And the Jets with a fine performance, a dramatically different team that you're going to see with these Jets. They played well against the Bills in a game they feel they should have won, and they should have won. So the Bears, I'm sure, will not be looking past them, but that could be a good one. Monday Night Football from Chicago, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Be with us.
Well, the malfunctioning of the 25-second clock here at Memorial Stadium is the only thing that has gone wrong when it comes to Fighting Illini football this afternoon. Yep. That is it. That's the only thing wrong here.
It was a game that we thought would carry right into darkness because of the two offenses.
It may have carried Houston on into darkness.
Illinois has completed so many when they've thrown the football. The time has moved quickly. And they've also been able to run the ball. And here comes Chris Richardson. They're going to exhaust him. Tracy Good from the 7-yard line. With an opening. Good. To find return out over the 40-yard line.
John Jenkins now is going to have to do maybe the best job of coaching that he's had to do since he's taken over this Houston program. As we talked about, he has a week off and then has Baylor at home. But a program that had lofty expectations has really struggled here the last couple of weeks. And this is where a coach has to do his best work of pulling everything back together, trying to get the kids to settle down and get back to just playing good basic football.
Very nearly the fourth interception, as Illinois now is aligned with 3 defensive linemen. That was Rod Boykin.
And I think there was a look at Klingler expressing some dissatisfaction with the route run by his receiver. I mean, and this is going to be hard for David to hold it together too. Don't lose it.
On the shotgun, Illinois back to their 4-man set. They've been alternating throughout the day. 3 down linemen, 4 down linemen, and 5 and 6 defensive backs. Quick flip out to Freddie Gilbert. That's very little, if anything.
I can't help but sympathize with anyone who finds himself in the position John Jenkins and the Cougars are in right now. As you and I touched on earlier, Frank, we've both been on the short end of this one. And it is just about as bad a feeling as you can experience.
3-man rush. And yet Klingler is still able to find a receiver, but he juggles the football as he goes out of bounds. And it's ruled incomplete. Marcus Grant. Eight men were in the pass coverage, and yet Grant was able to find an opening on the sidelines. Klingler got it to him. Grant bobbles the ball in and out of his hands. Now you have to have possession, and it looked as though he did.
Sure looked like a catch to me. I mean, I think he had possession before he went out of bounds. That's a bad break for Houston. That should have been a first down.
Whoa! Flag will go down, and Houston will keep the football, running into the kicker. Langston. Robert Crumpton was in on that punt rush. Didn't get a piece of the ball, and it'll be running into the kicker. 8:37 remaining here. 51-10.
On the defense, first down.
Well, maybe some things happen for a reason, although they never seem to do that in the game of football. But you know, Houston had a first down. If they would have been given that catch, which they should have been, here they end up with the first down anyway. That is just about the only thing that has gone in Houston's favor this afternoon.
And the shotgun once again on first down. Klingler. Illinois with the blitz. Houston picks it up, and they get the pass out to Freddie Gilbert, who will pick up 7. Mike Hopkins defensively for Illinois, and he's played a fine game today. A 4.77 grade average out of a possible 5. Illinois graduates 90% of their players in the football program. They're very proud of that, as well they should be. Klingler in trouble. Picked off. Aaron Shelby this time. Klingler's 4th interception. And Mike Pulaski, who was pursuing Klingler, gets up very slowly, but he's played a great game for the Illini.
I think right now John Jenkins has to strongly consider taking Klingler out of the ball game. He's just trying to do too much, trying to make something happen, gambling, and it's just not working.
Here it is again. Klingler with time this time.
Yeah.
He had plenty of time. The receiver wasn't open. He's chased out of the pocket, and he tried to do something that was impossible.
Well, he had a receiver, Frank, but running at that angle, I mean, even he didn't have enough arm to muscle it down there.
Illinois, 1st and 10. Steve Madison, the youngster from Toronto. And Jeff Kinney, he has the dimensions. 6'4", 205, a junior. Kinney's father played on the national championship team in Nebraska in '71, a 2-time All-American. Kinney actually suffered a blood clot in his shoulder in '89 while backing up Jeff George, and that gave Verduzco a shot at the backup job, and Verduzco was never let go. And he inherited the role from Kinney. 2nd down and 10. Illini from the 32-yard line. Madison again. Hustles his way to the 37-yard line. Good running. Everybody's happy here at Champaign-Urbana today.
They're not leaving either. 6.5 minutes left in this game, and they are staying here to savor it all.
Well, Klingler a year ago only threw 20 interceptions in 643 attempts. Today he's had 4. 5th of what he had all last year. Flag is down. They're keeping the 25-second clock on the field, and that's the only thing I could imagine that brought that flag.
We have a dead ball, delay of game on the offense, still 3rd down.
So, Illinois trying to stretch the clock, gets the 5-yard penalty.
There's Cleve Bryant, the receiver coach for the University of Illinois, the former head coach at Ohio University, and my high school quarterback.
How many did he throw you?
Cleve and I went to high school together at Glenwood High School in Canton, Ohio, and he has really done well. His first year here in the Illinois system, and he's done a fine job with their receivers. They've had a big day today.
3rd and 10. And George in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Brandon Harris, and incomplete. It'll be 4th down, and we're going to go to New York as Jeff Kinney misses on the 3rd down conversion. Roger Twyble. Roger?
Thank you very much, Frank. Not a real good day for your Trojans at Southern Cal, but trailing 32-18 with about 2.5 to go. Mazio Royster, who came back from an injury this week, trots it in. That makes it 32-25. The Trojans trail Arizona State by 7 with 2 to go. Let's go back to Frank.
Thank you, Roger.
Only 2 minutes left for your guys there, Frank. They better.
Lots of time.
Lots of time.
Corey Wells puts one up, and Houston will get the ball back at the 35-yard line.
Spoken like a man of Troy, right?
Now, Lynn Swan, the former Trojan, is dealing with our colleague Al Michaels, the Arizona State alumni. They're calling that game on this very busy college day for ABC.
Al, of course, a 4-time letter winner at Arizona State.
In wrestling and other sports. 6:02 remaining.
I think the School of Journalism is on.
David Klingler stays on. Hostel Miles. Gets a couple out of it before John Sadari makes the stop. Those are the numbers for Klingler.
Proceed to the far right.
Tells you something else about 300-yard games. Klingler reads the pre-snap set, moves his people around, connects with Verlin Brown. And Brown up near the first down marker, and he'll have it. Superb job by Lou Tepper, the defensive coordinator for the Illini. Played it steady. They played the zone all the way, and they've got the pass rush. Klingler again trying to squeeze it in between the two zones. That time he overthrows Marcus Grant. He was successful earlier there, and there is Lou Tepper. He was successful earlier getting to John Brown III. Tepper has put on quite a defensive scheme today. Again, he was on the spot because he was openly critical of John Jenkins and some of the scores that Jenkins has run up over the past couple of years. Oh, it's a weird looking flea flicker, but it's effective.
That's a blind pass, Frank. I mean, that is just a spin and you throw. They've executed that thing about 3 or 4 different times today, and every time it looked like there was an Illinois player that was close enough to intercept the ball if he could have reacted quickly enough.
Sherman Smith, 760 pounder, gets the Houston first down. Klingler smokes one in. His intended receiver, Verlin Brown, and Verlin Brown was really hammered by Chris Slater. Number 85. As Illinois starts to trot out a few folks that we haven't seen. And they've got a few just for this occasion. College football, you can dress as many as you want. I'd say they have around 100. Chris Stetler, number 85, is their defensive line. It's that kind of a day for David Klingler. This has been an all-around bad day for Houston. David Klingler, of course, he's the person you look at. He is the one on the hot spot, and that goes with the fame, the glory, and later in life, the big bucks. But he's one of the best I've seen in a lot of years. Again, throwing into the zone coverage. No chance for the completion. Marcus Grant well covered. It'll be fourth down.
That was throwing it into the sidelines. And that ball wasn't catchable by anybody. I guess this is a choice that John Jenkins is making that scoring a touchdown this late may do something for Klingler's confidence, but I think I might have pulled him and given somebody else a shot.
On fourth down. Almost intercepted, and then it pops into the hands of the Cougars receiver, Ron Peters. And that one should have been intercepted, as Klingler again tried to squeeze it into Peters. And Mike Hopkins saw nothing but end zone.
I mean, that would have been a touchdown easily.
Flags fly once again.
Dead ball, illegal snap on the offense, still first down.
That's the thing that has troubled Houston as much as anything else, and it did against Miami too, and that is illegal formations. The kind of penalties that you get from, I don't know, concentration or lack of it or something. It's not a complicated offense. And yet, on several occasions, we've had illegal formation. We've had movement before the snap. in the shotgun, and Klingler trying to get it to Freddie Gilbert. Just fired that one out of bounds, incomplete. Gilbert well covered. Jeff Jamison was there. Deep man in the zone.
Well, I can't imagine how painful this must be to watch for Houston fans, to watch their team in the span of 9 or 10 days just completely disintegrate. And as I said earlier, what a coaching job John Jenkins has in front of him over the next 2 weeks.
October the 5th, it begins for real in the Southwest Conference. It'll be Baylor, and Miles takes the shovel pass, and he's buried right at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard. John Sadari was there first. Time remaining in the game. .406 remaining. For the end zone. And again, good coverage. Just a reminder, because of the length of this game, we will be unable to bring you the Thrifty Car Rental post-game show.
I think one of the things we're also seeing here, Frank, by the way, Klingler is overthrowing the ball now whenever there's any doubt. I don't think he wants to suffer another interception. I don't think we're going to see Klingler attempting to force that ball in there at all.
Penalty on the play moves the ball inside the 30-yard line. Still third down and a long 10. Not pretty as Klingler goes down in the arms of Aaron Shelby back at the 44-yard line. Loss of 13. This is with a 3-man rush.
That's what's so discouraging about it. That's just a good hustle speed rush upfield that time, and boy, it's just totally disintegrating for the Houston Cougars. 4th down and a long, long way.
Miles, Austin Miles, the junior transfer from Pasadena Junior College, who has seen a lot of action here this afternoon, on 4th down, and Illinois will take over with 3 minutes remaining in the game. And let's take a look at what's transpiring around the country.
Syracuse,
big game,
putting a real surprise on Florida. The ball's coming from behind, spoiling Jackie Sherrill and the party of Mississippi State. Nothing new there with Oklahoma scoring a lot of points.
Clemson over Temple 37-7. Notre Dame whomping Michigan State.
George Perlis can't be too happy up beneath Lansing.
Illinois 1st and 10, the ball at their own 27-yard line. They lead 51-10 over the Houston Cougars. J.J. O'Loughlin is the quarterback. And Steve Madison carries it over the left side, and he'll have 1st down yardage. And let's take a look at some more scores.
Tulsa, look at that, upsetting Texas A&M. That game in Tulsa. Boy, that's one of their biggest wins in years. Ohio State putting 33 on the board, and a strong Colorado team just whitewashes Minnesota. The Intellectual Bowl, Rutgers and Northwestern.
Illinois with their 3rd quarterback, J.J. O'Loughlin, a 6'2", 200-pound freshman. Jason Dusko watches from the sidelines after a great performance. Freshman from California. Big day for Jason Dusko. Look at the beginning of the season. This game, everyone looked forward to this game, and he was sort of in the shadow of David Klingler, but with a great performance both by his offensive line and great defensive performance. He put on quite a show.
Frank, couldn't every football game of the year be played with the weather just exactly like it is today?
It would be wonderful. It could not be better. 2nd down and 8. The Illini keep it on the ground as Madison, another freshman, youngster from Toronto, gets the call over the right side. gets a couple of yards, it'll be 3rd down and 5.
Toledo, a winner.
On return.
Central Michigan's on a roll. Last week, Michigan State. This week, Akron. Ball State beats Kent.
Timmy Brown in school, Ball State. Still holds numerous records there.
It's all sweet.
Madison again. As Illinois now ticks the seconds off the clock down to 1 minute. And Jason Verdisco.
John McAfee
Put him very strongly in the running for Heisman, I would say.
You got that right. John McAfee says he's one of the strongest players, if not the strongest player on the team, pound for pound.
Prepares as good as any player he has ever had, and he's had a lot of them. He's former wrestler from Antioch High School, 4 letters there. And if you know the mentality of a wrestler, and a good friend of mine, Dan Gable, the great gold medalist, you know that they are tough cookies. They don't know from losing. Scores continuing to come in. And it's marked inside the 15-yard line. Houston has 18 seconds on the clock. And then it's going to be a long ride home. And a week off before they put it back together again and go into the Southwest Conference competition. Going against Baylor.
I think Lou Tupper
he took a Gatorade bath on the sidelines. And what a job he did. And you see him, he's being recognized for it too. But I'll tell you, John McAfee also had a pretty good scheme of things going into it offensively. And he called him at all the right times.
Well, there's that blind spin that goes back, and that one almost was intercepted. Frank, let's give credit to some of the guys that put on a good show here this afternoon for us.
Our guys are very busy in New York. Our executive producer is on hand there, Jack O'Hara. Our coordinating producer of ABC's College Football, Bob Goodrich. And now Houston keeps it on the ground. Today's game produced by Dick Buffington, directed by Jim Jeanette. Our ski director, technical director Joe Chavo. Our associate producer for college football is Jim Ressler. Associate director Howard Shapiro. Our unit manager Phil Engst. Our technical operations manager Mel Gerard. Assistant to the producer Chris Schachter. Statistician Scott Armento. And our spotter Kent Brown from here at the University of Illinois. Big day for this man, John McAfee. Our players of the game coming up, so stay with us. We'll be back in just a moment. Today, Chevrolet's most valuable players of the game are J.B. III, John Brown III from Houston, and Jason Verdusco from Illinois. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 to each school's general scholarship fund to reward outstanding students for their academic achievements and to assist those in financial aid.
Frank,
51-10, Illinois over Houston.
Let's go to Chicago.
Indeed. The Jets and the Bears in Chicago Monday night. Be with us. For Dan Dierdorf, this is Frank Gifford saying so long.
Tonight, ABC Sports returns with more college football excitement when BYU meets Penn State, fourth-ranked Washington faces Nebraska, or Georgia battles Alabama. ABC's College Football has been brought to you by Honda, maker of fine quality automobiles.